Hello, everybody. We're getting sorry about the delay. Just waiting for Chris to get on in here. He's coming back from an event he has going on, and figured, well, I'll just go ahead and kind of get us started. So I know you guys have seen the big news about Elon, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. Let's see. Jira says, I got to see Elon versus Twitter bots. Who's going to win? That's interesting. And I see Venti Cafe, which I have mine right here. Um, Elon is king of all bots, but we'll see exactly. Yipper's in the building, I see. Who else did I see? I see Uncle Warren out there, extra bullet. What's up, fam? Yipper's in the building, and I see Jimmy. She's in here also. Much love to everybody who's out there. Let me make sure I get us up and going on the Rockfin side. Yeah, just got to get that going first. And then once that gets going, I can start in with one of these stories that I have. Okay, cool. We'll take a few minutes there. Also, let me know, everyone, if my audio and everything's okay. There we go. I got to make sure that I don't screw up like I did, was it last week or week before? I see Baba in the building. Hey, Baba Yaga. Last week on Rockfin's side, I didn't click out of the right one, and so I started recording the episode over it. So gotta make sure I'm careful over there. I gotta go back over for anybody on the Rockfin side. If you're trying to catch that one episode, what was it? I believe it was the Kanye episode that we did, the one before last week. Somehow I recorded over, so it's a double recording. So gotta fix that. In the meantime, before we get Chris in here, I figure I can go in on one of these articles, which I don't know if you all have been noticing what's been kind of going on this front, but it definitely needs to be looked at and focused on. So let me bring this up real quick. Live streaming. Oh, no. Don't want to go into that. Let me back that up. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. And I know it gets later on the West Coast for everybody, so don't want to keep you all too terribly long. But let's pull this up on the screen. Share screen. And I know it'll probably be many people might not be in here live tonight, so I do appreciate those of you guys who are. I know there's many Halloween parties and things like that, and that's one of the stories we're going to cover. I don't know if you've all heard about it, but there's been a mass tragedy that's happened in Korea, and we'll go into that. Baba says daylight dumb time is coming. Yeah, I'm not a fan of daylight savings. All right, let's put this up. All right. Okay, just making sure you guys can see that okay. It says one of the biggest trials in Scientology history has revealed how celebrity members like Danny Masterson used the church to skirt law enforcement. Witnesses and experts say things. So this is the Church of Scientology, which is actually not very far from me. I've been there, taken a couple of pictures of the outside. I did not go in. I'm not Karen Bass. Says a judge presiding over Danny Masterson's trial tried to keep Scientology out of the courtroom, but key witnesses have already opened Pandora's box, highlighting what makes the church tick. The women testified the church covered up their rapes and protected Masterson, a lifelong member. Let me see. Is that Chris? Says, yeah, I'm going to get started. Oh, I guess he doesn't need the link. Cool. Let's see. All right, let's get down to a little bit more of this. As his trial on criminal rape charges kicked off in Los Angeles last week, the 70s show actor Danny Masterson's lawyers presumed that the Church of Scientology would be the elephant in the room throughout proceedings. Masterson is a second-generation Scientologist, and the 3 rape accusers are all former members of the church. By the 10th day of the trial, witnesses discussed the church every single day. The church's president was not just a metaphorical elephant in the room. It has eclipsed elements of the trial and reverberated beyond the courtroom. Though the Church of Scientology is not on trial with Masterson's, facets of the operation are woven throughout testimony inextricably from the allegations of rape witnesses have detailed. The trial is demystifying the religious organization, particularly its celebrity allure and hierarchy, in a way many observers have never seen before. This trial is one of the biggest moments in Scientology history. Tony Ortega, a journalist who has followed Scientology since the 1990s and broke the Masterson story in 2016 for his outlet, The Underground Bunker Told Insider. If you guys want that, you guys can let me know, and then I can link it in the chat. What's going on? Yes, the Danny Masterson from the 70s show. That is who we're talking about here. In fact, I can pull him up. For those who don't remember, who are we talking about? Who's Danny Masterson? Who's this? What's going on here? Let's pull up Danny Masterson for everyone. He was everybody's, like, maybe, I consider him more of a kind of a fan favorite on the show. I only watched it briefly. Let's switch over to it. Show you guys who we got here. Danny Masterson. Yes, this gentleman right here. Yes, you guys remember the guy with the crazy hair? Yes, that's Danny Masterson. Which everybody thought was kind of the cool guy, wore the sunglasses all the time. Yes, that's him. Reportedly, there are 3 women who are charging him with rape. And that just goes on with more and more and more of the stuff. Yes, Danny is the curly-haired dude with glasses, correction. That's something that I just wanted to put out there because I virtually don't hear anybody else really talking about that, not in independent media. I've heard little buzzes of it here. Definitely living in the LA area, I hear about it. There he is. So I just figured I want to bring it up. Look at him, Mr. Clean. Looking sharp over there, sir. How we doing?
What's good, man?
Yeah, doing good.
It's since our whole thing is the Matrix and it's Halloween, I just wanted to put the glasses on.
I forgot I was supposed to do it too, but I'm like, I gotta find an outfit. I don't have nothing sharp like you, sir.
Yeah, whatever, man.
So next week, man, I'm a bum. My clothes are look like workout and gym clothes mostly. Venti Cafe says, "Oh yeah, the duo are in the house. Yes, we are in." So yeah, I was just telling everybody about the whole Scientology case that's going on. Have you heard about it, Chris?
No, I didn't, but I just had some little boy give me some money. I mean, it looked like a bunch of ones, but I'll take it.
Are you trying to get you prepared for a strip club or something, or or does he work at a strip club?
I know what you doing, son. Like,
who is it? Marcus? Marcus working at a strip club?
Yeah.
I just go there to pick up the money.
Yeah.
No, he's like, I swear, I'm only waiting tables.
Oh man,
I don't want to hear that you in one of them videos. What is it? The Dancing Bear. I don't want to hear that's what you're out there doing, young man, trying to get your college
correct.
money.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Yes, Chris is robbing kids over here. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm robbing kids.
Look at the dysfunctionality that's going on with this family. You got
one
kid who's over there pop locking in a bear suit to middle-aged women, for money, and then his daddy like pimping him out and taking the money from him. You see what's going on? I mean, forget
funny shit.
I mean, you know, they had the show Kardashians where they had a camera. Fuck that. I want a Lawson's show now. If Jersey Shore can have a show.
Wild,
if Jersey Shore can have a show, I want to know what's going on in the Lawson house. Let's watch this shit.
Exactly.
What did Mr. Ritz do? Chris gone wild.
Exactly.
Oh man, I got a feeling we're probably gonna be in rare form tonight. It's been a lot of stuff going on. And I know some of y'all out there might be like, yo, are we still talking about Kanye? Yes, there's more.
And yes and no.
Well, I think right now what it's done is it's gotten past Kanye.
Correct.
It's to the point now where like some of the stuff I was trying to allude to, what this is really about. And it's not about like Kanye supposedly going to incite violence. No. That's not what this is about at all. We're gonna go into it. And I was like, I don't know how much, because see, I've kind of been pulling my punches a little, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on Hebrew Apologetics, I went in a little bit more. And now that they gave me the ability to post, which I should have never did that. That's kind of like that Rick James. Remember when he was mad and they beat his legs? And he was like, they should have never gave you niggas money. That's what they did, giving me the damn post. They should have never let me do that shit. Because it's about
It's some funny shit though. They should have never gave you niggas money.
And you know the thing about it is, man, they couldn't handle me. Like, y'all don't know what it would be like to be out hanging out with me at a bar while I'm drinking. Just know, this is me at like a 3.
Like I'm sober.
Y'all don't want to. Yeah, I'm just drinking some coffee right now.
Just to sober me.
Y'all don't want to see what turned up me is like. Just let you know, back in the day, I used to be a little wild. All right, we ain't gonna go into none of that, but let's go on ahead and get the show started.
Really get down to understanding this political matrix.
Oh shit.
Pro wrestling.
Became afraid of it because people were reporting on each other.
We're living out Minority Report too as well. And
you know why? You know why we know that, boss? Because we've been reporting on it.
Yeah, I know.
All the black people in this country be willing to take a reservation.
That's what the Nation of Islam was asking for.
Put a couple of clips together.
It's crazy to see how much Martin Luther King really began to look like, damn, man, Malcolm was fucking right.
I mean, what is the elite's end game?
There's this assumption that as a black commentator or black journalist that you're not informed.
Relationships, that's a skill we have to learn.
It's even more kind of mind-blowing because we're supposed to be the multicultural space.
Trying to drum up money to keep the war machine going so they can keep the donors happy.
Yeah. Do the Chinese own part of that?
Began a long time ago. Ukraine has had a neo-Nazi problem for decades.
Proof of sanction, am I right?
I don't know if Domcopters will do it, but something's got to be able to save the world.
From the private industry here.
You know, like I say, people come on here, they can say stuff they don't normally say on their own shows, which is fine.
Oh, it's McDonald's. Whoop-de-doo.
Ooh.
And their cholesterol is going to to go down. Yeah.
Look, we only exist because we have the biggest military, kid.
And silencing a person like Julian Assange. Because it affects everybody. And today, last week, believe you me, because they know who you are. They watch. They got people that's going out there. They don't want you guys having the conversations that you're having on this show. Mm-hmm. So it affects the political matrix today.
All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get this show started. I don't know if you guys can see the title. I'm pretty sure you did. You clicked on it, and you don't just have it on autoplay. Tonight's show, we got Elon. Well, I'll just read the title, and then I'll talk about it. Elon, Twitter, the Pelosi's, Putin, Ye, aka Kanye West, and Kyrie Irving. And so I figured that we will get into the Ye a little bit later. It's a lot going on, and there's so many more folds to this. I mean, I've been kind of inundated with clips and people sending me stuff and me getting stuff and me running across stuff. So I figure I'll go into that in a little bit. Want to welcome everybody on the Rockfin side. Make sure, say hello as you come in. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I have uploaded the video. It is called, let me find it. What did I call it? I think I called it, that's what it was. Independent Media Karaoke. And so there, it is on our Rockfin side. So did not want to run into copyright infringements. So I put it over there. Showed a little bit of it last week. You guys can see myself. You can see Mr. Lawson here. You can see the Blue Maverick, Mr. Emmanuel. You can see Jimmy down there in the chat. You can see Uncle Warren. I mean, it got a little bit of everybody. You got Jimmy, Dora, and Steph. And for some of you guys who do follow on Twitter, who might have seen some of them, I added a couple of extra people in there. I mean, got Franco, he's in there. You got what? I think I did the Useful Idiots, Katie Halper and Aaron Mate, Max Blumenthal, John Pilger. So I did a little bit of everybody. So make sure you guys go check that out. And then another thing I wanted to plug before we got started. When it was all four of us, it was me, Chris, Emmanuel, and Elle. We went on the Frank analysis, and we were talking about some of this Russia-Ukraine stuff. And I was just kind of going over the video, and I saw some stuff in there that I was like, you know what? I can kind of surmise this down. Yes, Richard Medhurst. His is great. Life is life. Yeah, but you guys have to check it out. You guys will know what I'm talking about. But I saw some stuff in there. I'm gonna look for that tomorrow to premiere. I haven't figured out what time, but I'm editing it right now. So it's gonna show you that. I think this was. Do you remember how long ago it was that we went on there, Chris? What was it, like 7-8 months ago when we were talking about the Russia-Ukraine stuff?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm not 100% sure if that's it, but yeah.
I think it had to have been like February or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so roughly about 9 months ago, you guys are gonna be able to go and see what I was talking about back then. And I don't know, I gotta figure out which one I was talking about it on, but I'm gonna try to see how far back on this show where I was mentioning what I believe was gonna happen, because a lot of what I've been talking about is starting to pay out. So I just want to be able to show those receipts to say that, just show that even though there's a lot of people who are mentioning this and covering that, it's not very many people who are predicting what is going to happen and how things are happening. There's a lot of people who are on top of the newest thing, how it's coming out. And there's a lot of people who are getting the scoop on what they see, and a lot of theories out there. But I'm giving you guys the roadmap here, and all you got to do is kind of just listen out, and you'll see what's going on, and you can take it from there. But sorry, I ranted on and on and on. Chris, your thoughts, sir?
No, it's cool, man. It's the political matrix. What we do, we get away with a lot of shit here. But if you go on your rant, that's fine. Nobody cares. I don't. Most of the time, I agree. I'm looking at the topics here. Pretty interesting topics, even though, again, this is very similar to last week's show. The names that you see really don't matter, especially as it relates to Kanye and Kyrie. It's not about either one of them individually at all.
No.
their names are just there so that we can get to the topic at hand and that we could do our deep dive into it, because it does require a deep dive into the particular topic. The individuals themselves, I'm gonna treat them like a gun, right? Like a gun that's not being held. It's neither good nor bad. It's just a tool, right? So I don't want to get into, oh, Kyrie does this, he said this, or Kanye said this, and it's beyond that. We're not. The controversy is not there. And since we're on it, did you see the details about the Pelosi break-in?
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get started on the Pelosi break-in. I did. Yeah.
What do you think? Okay, so let me ask you for once, right? You asked the questions. Let me ask you, right? What did you think of the story as you read it? From either AP or Reuters, not Deadspin or TMZ. I'm talking about from the official trusted sources. What did you think?
I feel like from the mainstream, there is a lot of CYA covering your asses, and a lot of people who are giving cover to the Pelosi's as a whole. Let's put it this way. If I ran, no, I'm not even going to use an analogy. We're just going to call it straight how it is. The Pelosi's, which, and I'm going to give a shout out to, damn, I can't even remember the dude's name, but I watched a bigger content creator, kind of more on the right, who was talking about this. And he was like, for one, and this is something I didn't need a bunch of people to tell me this for it to come to my mind, but Pelosi was number 3. Well, is number 3. Yipper asked, did the Pelosi's get hurt? Yes, the husband got hurt. And the husband has a skull fracture and some bruises. But for you to, the number 3 person, the number 3 most powerful person in government, as far as elected officials, would have some level of security, possibly even Secret Service assist, if not private security.
Nope.
The fact that they don't is weird to me. That part is already weird. But apparently they had no security, and somehow a random man was able to sneak into their house, hold I can't remember the husband's first name, but Mr. Pelosi, Paul, the alcoholic, Paul Pelosi, kind of hold him at hammer or knife or whatever point that he had him frozen, and then nothing happens until the police. Imagine getting your ass beat with a hammer from a dude in his drawers. I would have thought I woke up to hell or something. I mean, have y'all seen what this dude look like? This is not a little man. This is not a little man. This is a very big man. And in the thumbnail, I put it in there because this dude, like, I'm sorry, I'm not even getting to you. I'm not getting to your answer. It's just so much with this. To me, it sounds fishy as fuck. It sounds fishy as fuck.
I mean, just the story, the way it read, it said they were holding the police got there and they observed the 2 men holding the hammer. That shit sounds kind of like, that sounds like some kind of like weird erotic shit right there. I don't know. Right?
Holding the hammer.
Yeah, 2 men holding the hammer, and one was wearing his underwear. I don't know. Then
both were in underwear.
Oh, okay. So with that being said, right? They then said they witnessed the burglar, whatever you want to call him, take the hammer and strike Mr. Pelosi on his head. and that they were able to tackle him. How they go from y'all? I'm picturing the struggle with the hammer. How y'all just sit back and let him get smashed in the head with a hammer? I don't know.
How they just not tackle both of them?
Yeah, I don't know. It just sounds funny. And look, here's the thing, right? Because I even looked it up myself. They do not get Secret Service security.
But I'm like, she don't have private security to her house.
That part. So you don't have either private security, and you don't have something. You
Capitol
don't have
Police, Capitol Police, at least.
Motherfucker, people I work with on Ring on their phones like this. Oh shit, what's this? Oh, it's a raccoon. Like, and you telling me that y'all don't have
and you don't have and there's no security. So I guess he just left the alarm off, or they don't have a security system for this person to be able to break into the house, and police weren't notified the moment that the house was broken into.
So nobody saw the dude in the nobody saw the superhero vigilante running into the Pelosi house. You know, he had his underwear on the outside. You know.
Well, you know that they say that he was a nudist, right? So.
Okay.
So
but the story doesn't make any sense to me, bro. It doesn't.
This is
I
the
think
picture.
It's a lie.
I'm gonna show you
for next week.
The picture that I have in the thumbnail. I'm gonna bring that up so you all can see it. Yeah, it's for him supposed to be a nudist. It's weird to me that the picture here is the one picture of him with clothes on. So
Yipper, it's the Cali house.
Yeah, this is weird.
And Pelosi was in DC. So
and
you can check her schedule. It's not as if she just announced she was going to DC. I don't know. And then of course he's anti-COVID. He likes Kanye West. He's anti-Semitic. I mean, just checkbox.
All right, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
All right. Paul Pelosi attack from nudist activism to online hate. Suspected David the Pape. Good gracious.
The pop, I don't even know. I was saying the paper minus the R, the pay.
I would think it'd be the Pape. But whatever. Look, here's the picture. So yes, you see all these half-naked people down here. And
so him and his boyfriend got into it. Somebody called the cops and they weren't supposed to. And instead of saying that, you know, her husband likes the hammer, they said they were both holding the hammer and that, you know, this guy should be arrested. This is a dirty game.
They're also trying to say that this guy's a MAGA supporter. But also now it's coming out that he's possibly a Green Party supporter. And I'm like, for one, I don't think this was. They're trying to say this is politically motivated, of course. Yeah, he's not nude there, Venti Cafe, and so the fact that he's not nude there at an event where the other people are nudists, that already seems sketchy to me. Atris, my man Atris is in the building. Where did it go? Atris says Paul's gay lover. That's what seems more likely. He snuck him in there at the middle of the night. They start arguing and fighting for whatever reason. Or he had his gay lover come in. He's going to fight against him. He's going to come up with some excuse for, oh, well, you know, we shouldn't press charges against him. You know, he's going through a hard time, whatever. Did you hear the 911 tape?
Oh, no, I didn't. Who called?
I don't know who called, but there was a 911 tape.
Well, let me go grab this coffee. I'll be right back.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can pull up the 911 tape real quick, because when you hear the 911 tape, even the 911 people are like, that doesn't sound right. They're like, wait a minute, and I don't want to spoil it. I will just play it so you guys can hear it for yourselves and make your own determination. Just like let's see video. Let's see if we have it on video. I don't know where it is. I have so much stuff that's been sent to me recently that I can't find hardly anything. I think that's it.
Jesus, God. Good job.
All right, here we go. Let's see. I think this
You
is
gonna make
it.
iced coffee?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what it was on. Was it on? I can't find it. Hold on a second. Yes, there is a 911. Two dudes in tidy whities with a hammer fight. That's on fire. I'll let you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of like tribal kind of tradition that was going on. Ew, ew. I'll just you're gross. I don't want to think of Paul trying to get nothing in. That sounds just. Let's see. Oh, maybe I have. Maybe I sent it to myself. Let's see what I got. That's normally my most effective way. Is I send it to my own DMs. No, not there. Oh wait a minute. Oh wait a minute.
That's what I do too. I send it to my own DMs.
There. Oh, I do have it. Here we go. All right, now let's just share this on screen.
Trez, that's why I said I found it funny whenever they said they were holding a hammer. I'm like, damn, they must be all into black culture because I caught what they was talking about.
They're holding that blicky.
Exactly. That glizzy.
4-car paper 910. Broadway, across of Scott and Normandy. 14-hour copy. RP stated that there's a male in the home and that he's going to wait for his wife. RP stated that he doesn't know who the male is, but he advised that his name is David and that he is a friend. RP sounded somewhat confused. Friend? RP sounded somewhat confused. 12-hour back and copy.
Okay, pause it. Yeah.
4-car paper 910 2640 Broadway,
Pause.
Scott and Normandy.
Yeah, I know. You're like, hold the fuck up.
Copy.
Yeah.
So wait, he said y'all don't know who he is, but that's my homie.
That's basically what he said. Yeah, like I don't know this motherfucker, but be nice to David. He's all right.
Yo, he just told the cops. He said, "I don't know that nigga. Yo, I'm gonna get you out, son."
He straight up pulled a Tully in Blue Street. Remember that shit? He was like, Tully, you out here in front of the people. You embarrassing me.
Yo, he really just said, "Smokey back there taking this shit." I go tell nobody else.
Hey man, I can get you how much? I'll give you 50, but you gotta spend about 4 days in jail. Ah, come on, man. Can I get my gun back? No, you can't get your gun. That's what we had happening here.
Yo, that is funny.
Yeah. So he literally said he didn't know. Oh, and he's drunk. He's drunk in his underwear. He don't know dude, but he know dude's name, and he's a friend. See? That's why I said, you know what? That's why I brought up his DUI. Because this is what drinking does. It gets you caught up in your bullshit. Some shit happened the wrong way. Now you try to cover your ass and figure, oh shit, what can I do? Oh, he probably did. Maybe that could be some weird erotic shit they had going on and the shit went wrong. Oh, skeet, motherfucker. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. It was the weirdest fucking thing. And when I started reading the details, I'm telling you, from the first time when they said they observed the two men holding a hammer, notice they didn't say anything like they were struggling, they were fighting. They said they were holding a hammer. Okay.
Man,
so
the
that
cop
sounds
sounded like he was like, yo, this is, yeah, I'm trying to cover up some bullshit, okay?
Homeboy was probably trying to leave, and Paul Pelosi was like, who the fuck are you to try to leave me? And
that's what I think happened. We run into a high level, like, argument between a down low gay couple.
Yeah.
And he's like, motherfucker, I can't fucking leave you. My wife is the Speaker of the House. He like, but you told me you love me, Paul. I mean, I don't. This is what this shit sound like. He was like, you told me we were gonna leave together. You didn't even care about Nancy or none of this stuff anymore. I mean, she's about to lose anyway. You told me all these things and I believed them, Paul.
She's not going to be the Speaker, and we can run her. We can run away and be so happy.
That's what it's. That's what I would suggest. I mean, this sounds weird, but I mean, I have not made it. I don't think I've hidden that I believe a lot of these political marriages are not real.
Yeah.
I still believe in my heart of hearts that the Clintons is a fake marriage. I don't buy it. I don't buy. I don't buy the Obama's marriage as being completely real.
Well, I can't speak on that one. I don't.
I know you can't. I'm willing to go that far.
People have said it. I don't.
I'm willing to go that far.
But the Clintons, well, we know Hillary's a munch, as the kids like to say these days. That's a new word, new terminology for y'all for 2022. The kids is using munch.
See,
my son said stop.
That's like shortened version of what they used to say back in the day. You know, I guess say crunching munch too, but I mean, I don't know. I guess crunching munch is when they're not shaved.
Yeah.
It was the brothers in Home Improvement hammers and shit. I'm with you. Mitch McConnell tops it because he's definitely that dude Mitchy Bitchy. I wonder about him. I wonder if that that thing that's hanging at the bottom of his throat is like, should I say that joke? Nah, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, he likes to play with booty. It's okay.
Fuck it, I'm gonna say it anyway. I often wonder if that sack that's hanging is probably like 30 years of backed up cum sitting in the bottom of his throat or the bottom of his chin. I think him and what is it, Kennedy? Him and Kennedy got something going on. He looked a little he looked like he's a little tender also. I think that they probably got some secret. Man, I think a lot of these dudes, like, I don't know if y'all remember Larry Craig. Who remembers Larry Craig out there?
Oh, is that the wide stance dude?
Yes,
in the bathroom?
Mr. Wide Stance in the bathroom.
Yeah. We don't do that.
And it's like, yo, if you part of the LGBTQ community, man, quit this. Just be honest about it. But it's the lying part where we have an issue. This is where you get clowned. This is when I start cracking the jokes on you when you don't want to be fucking honest about your shit. We know that, like, the other one, Lindsey Graham. If I was hanging out with Lindsey Graham and I saw Lindsey Graham literally kiss or grab a woman in any kind of way, I think I would faint. There's nothing in me that believes he's straight.
I'd say he was lying. He's just doing that for TV.
I honestly, for instance, for me, it would make more sense.
When you deal with women, you have a certain walk, a certain energy, a certain behavior, shall we say.
He said that.
He doesn't exhibit that. He exhibits like he bites on pillows.
You have to say, Yipper said you have to say it in a Southern Belle accent. Well, Chris, I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. I am a very proud heterosexual male and a senator, Chris.
I know he is, and good job being elected, but just be who you are. Stop hiding.
Stop hiding it. That's the biggest issue. These dudes are all lying. They're all hiding it.
It is like,
and
what you like.
Well,
like,
not
stop hiding.
If you're just hiding it and you're in the closet, that's one thing. But the fact that these guys are not only hiding it, they're coming out and saying, "Damn you, gay people! Dude, we know you're gay. You don't have to overcompensate that hard. If it's those people who are really the Southern Baptists, and that's what they believe. That's what people believe. But don't sit out there and be faking the funk and knowing your ass can't wait to get off and run out to a gay bar in the middle of the night and then get on Capitol Hill and talk about the strength of the family. Don't stop it. Yes, I do declare I have the vapors. I mean, that's and Larry Craig, that's what he ended up losing his seat basically over. He's sitting up there trying to pretend he's this big family man. It's all about family values.
Yeah, you're in the bathroom playing footsie with men to see if that they'll come to the glory hole with you. Like, no.
Which it's known that is a well-known pickup spot for male prostitution in that Minneapolis airport.
Yep. They was all coming out like, oh yeah, that's why I had some of my best fun.
Man, they all know it. I see Hemcar. I'm trying to. Oh, okay, Hemcar. That's Jacob. Okay, got you. All right, so now we know who Hemcar is. I was like, I don't know who this Hemcar is. I'm scared to click a link from Hemcar. But glad to see Jacob over there. I see Uma is in the building, also on the Rockfin side. Carpathian 9. We see Carpathian 9. I haven't seen Carpathian, but welcome to the show. And we'll try to get, I am definitely going to talk about that.
Am I lagging? Can you guys hear me all right?
I think we're both kind of cutting in and out. I don't know what it is. That's the reason why I put out to Elon, like, yo, you gonna buy YouTube? Please do it. We got a better shot with him than the regime that we have now. Meanwhile,
I keep seeing Andrew Gillum's name trend online.
Well, I didn't know why.
I didn't know why his name was trending though.
The reason why his name is trending because they're like these stories are kind of similar. Remember, he was like, "Well, I didn't do any drugs, or I don't know what happened. I don't know how I ended up in a room unconscious with a male prostitute. I just have no clue about that. I have no problem with homosexuality, but I don't do homosexual acts. Not me, not Andrew Gillum."
Then is Paul Pelosi going to lead Pride Parade as he comes out as bisexual next time?
Man, I look at it like this.
Is that what it is, Marcus?
Of any country to be in, outside of Great Britain or Israel, you are in probably the most gay pride positive country in one of the most gay pride positive states in one of the most gay pride positive cities in the world.
In the neighbor, and then you can take that even further into the neighborhood.
Yeah, if you can't be an openly gay person in San Francisco, then what is the world coming to?
You know, the other thing about it that was also troubling is that right away they had his background, they had his internet, and he was as they say, anti-COVID. And he was against the official narrative. He's anti-Semitic because he liked something by Kanye West. So he's hitting all of the popular red button topics right now. So you'll just be like, oh, this guy's crazy. He probably was a Trump supporter. Kill him, bury him, throw him under the jail. Who cares? We'll move on from it. Again, this also doesn't.
You forgot the kill him, rape him, eat him part first.
Oh yeah, that part. And then let's keep it real. Election is what? Not this coming week, but next week? 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, it's coming up pretty closely. I figured since I'm having bad lag, I'll click my camera off for now until it gets sorted out. But you guys say my audio is still good, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so election now for 2 weeks. I believe it's the 8th. And, it's all this. So vote for us so we can protect ourselves. We need to increase security for the party. The other side is, what's the word? They're, God, when you put the battery in somebody's back, they're hyping up racists and extremists and anti-Semites And we all need to be very careful about that because those people are crazy and they will want to come and attack you. Blah fucking blah. But to me, it just looks like building up sympathy for 2 weeks from now.
Well, what it is more or less is we have a powerful elite that the one thing about them is they are so it's kind of like a dude who cheats all the time, and then if there's any inkling that they're cheating, they go scorched earth on their partner. This is what we have with this kind of media environment that we're dealing with. We're dealing with a bunch of people who, if you even remotely look in their area, because they have so much guilt on their hands, they overcompensate by going way too far. That's right. I'm trying to pull up. Let's see, we have Uma in the building, so I'm gonna try to pull up and translate one of her tweets for us or comments.
We don't know yet. I just saw the comment about the attacker being part of the Green Party. Marcus had mentioned that. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked anymore. But even if he was or he wasn't, it doesn't matter. I think it's a plant. I think it's a fake story to cover up the fact that maybe he got caught, liking glizzies.
Uma says that's probably more correct.
They were holding the hammer when they came in. That's cold.
I honestly think you're correct. I mean, I know.
In their underwear. Hammers, underwear. Come on. They telling us what it is.
I mean, it could be either that or this could be some kind of election thing, which they're trying to.
Marcus, they're never going to find you and I holding a hammer in our underwear together.
No.
Right? That's never going to happen, B.
The only way.
We're not trying to do some crazy special, fucking magic shit. No, that's not happening.
Yeah, and I wear pajamas anyway to bed, so I'm not going to be in my underwear around another man, period. I mean.
Yeah, look, he out there behaving like a glizzy goblin. You can't help these people.
The hobgoblin. the knob goblin. But Uma says here, the dangers of separating and governing are mainly conflicts between sides that are engulfed by the media or slander to the point of escalating conflict, unable to communicate or reconcile. It's possible between the two. Man, if I ever made anything of myself, I would have to have Uma as like my press secretary. Uma finds a way to talk about all this stuff and make it sound so classy and dignified.
Marcus, the Trez just said, what's Paul's hammer in gematria?
3.3 and a 3 1/3.
Oh man. And
I see Choosy is in the building. What's up, Choosy? And I see Ruby also is in here. Hey, Ruby, it's good to see you. Yeah, this is interesting. So interesting. Yes, that rumor they're seeing each other.
Now this kind of takes us into the next story we wanted to discuss, right?
Yeah.
So given that a lot of people are saying this about this attacker on Twitter, you will notice that there are some of the commentary is allowed, whereas maybe this time last month that some of those comments wouldn't have been allowed, or they would have quickly been removed as a result of it affecting Democrats per se.
Yeah, I got a video that I wanted to show, and I've gotten to the point now where I get, because we've gotten so many freaking copyright strikes, and it's like, that's why I'm like, yo, Elon, why don't you come over here and deal with YouTube, and you can just stop some of this bullshit that we're dealing with over here, because you can obviously see a political lean, and it's just a political lean that you're seeing. It's not only just the mainstream narrative versus smaller content creators. It is a obviously Democratic, mainstream narrative that is only being really accepted. And if you're outside of that, you're gonna get some pushback from everybody else. Let me see where it is. What is it on? I'm trying to remember what is the one that I always go to? I'm trying to remember. Weon, that's what it is. Weon they did a really good breakdown and analysis over this whole process. Weon.
Oh, Weon, okay.
And so there was like, there we go. I'll click this one and get it onto the screen. So let me put it on the screen. Oh, I forgot. I gotta switch the YouTubes that I'm on right now. I'm on the wrong YouTube. Because yes, when you have 3 channels, sometimes you get mixed up which one you're on. And even though we do more regular commentary on this channel, I am mostly on my other one. What I've been thinking with Marcus Cage. So if you guys ever see me in a comment section, you won't see the political matrix most of the time. You will see what I've been thinking. So if you see that, that's definitely me. Because I had somebody thinking that it was a bot one of these days, not realizing no, that's actually.
Hey, pull up Baba's link if you can. I can't, but
I can't. Well, I can't pull it up on here. It won't let me pull it up on the computer. But actually, what I can do, cozy.org, I can type it in, leave that there for a moment.
Look what God did.
Was that? Oh, let me flip back. What was it? Ecosia.org.
Not a whole lot.
Ooh, whoa. Let's try to see.
I'm trying to teach this boy how to make my coffee, and I know he's just gonna like. If I start bouncing off the ceiling, literally, it's because he put too much sugar.
Oh, that good crack coffee.
Yeah. You can't trust the light skins.
No, you can't. They always run fast to the big house.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm not sure if I got the right image. I got just a bunch of images, but I didn't type in all that stuff at the bottom. I just typed in Paul Pelosi.
Yeah, now they're plotting on me. They didn't like my comments, so now they're plotting on me. So if I pass out in the middle of this feed, it was my offspring that poisoned me.
Oh yeah, just a photo of Paul. Let me put it up. I got all the Pelosi stuff up right now. Let's pull up old Polly boy. Yeah, so and if you see Paul Pelosi, he's not a little guy. He is definitely not a small guy.
Yeah, so pull him up. Let me see a picture of him.
Oh, that's right. Oh, crap. I don't even realize I don't have it shared.
He looks like an old school closet,
Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can click on one of these in particular. All right. That's what I'll do.
I walked around.
Yeah, he just pretended. That's thank you. It's like Bruce Jenner, right?
You spend what, only a matter of time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's pop on over back to that other one real quick. What did he say? Yipper, they can't tell which side if the moon they on. Yeah. The beige people are all sus. Yipper says. I see. We found out that the old saying, If you throw a rock into a crowd of dogs, the one that yells the one you hit, Mrs. Streets, I see, must be in the Beige Club also.
Oh no, he was saying that last week too.
Say, like Pierre said, y'all just waiting to try to come back in style. Y'all not. Baba says, who is Paul Pelosi and why does he want to stay out of the limelight of politics? I wonder why. Well, because Paul Pelosi is the one who is, let me see if my camera's gotten better. Let's see. Okay, yeah. All right. It feels weird being off camera. Like, I know some people do their whole streams like that, but Paul Pelosi is, is Nancy's husband. He also is a big time stock trader. So, when we're always talking about Nancy and this insider trading stuff, this is normally him who's the one who's taking those stock tips and invest in them, and that's the reason why they're sitting on 300 million.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason why.
You know what?
Maybe we just
figured out what it was. He told him about some stocks. The shit went down, and homeboy showed up in his drawers mad, like, bitch, I've been doing things for you I wouldn't do for nobody, and you ain't give me the right stocks. Yeah. So he went there. Yeah, he went there.
He was like, I thought you really cared about me when you nicknamed me Back Freckles.
Correct. That's why he went there. You know what? He probably tried to take away the hammer, and Paul Pelosi got upset.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "No more hammer for you." Mm-mm. Paul grabbed the hammer like, "What you doing? No!"
Oh shoot! I see Denver's in the building. What's up, Denver?
Denver, what's up, man?
Yeah, trying to get caught up. I'm bad on my tech wares today. So let's see. Let's play a little bit of this clip from Weon. Just like Rokana's wife. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is what they all do. They pass it on to their spouses or their sons or their father or whoever it is, some other family member, so that it's somewhat detached from them. And so ones like Pelosi, they might get a little greedy and just put a little bit, maybe put 10, 15, 20,000 here. Or my husband, he's putting 100K on it. Paul was on Grindr swiping. Oh man. I mean, he knew. Hey, she off in DC. It's a go time. It's all green light. Aren't Paul and Nancy an arranged crime family wedding? Well, Choosy, if you want my honest, then this is an opinion. I gotta say this, to make sure make sure the show is safe. This is an opinion because I realize, especially what happened with Kanye, which we'll talk about later on. When you're dealing with other types of people, you gotta spell everything out. And I don't know if people are just that stupid, or if they're just looking for a way to twist what you're saying. So I realize you gotta be really careful with how you word stuff. And what I would say is that if you look back to, Pelosi's origins and her family blowing up, that's at the same time when you had a lot of illegal organized crime starting to get into politics and legalized businesses. Her father was also tied in very close with the Kennedy family, and therefore why she was tied in with the Kennedys. Nancy Pelosi literally used to babysit some of the Kennedy kids. I think she used to babysit. I don't think it was Bobby Kennedy, but one of their kids. And so the fact that she has that kind of tie in, we also know that there was a mixture of, from my theory of not a factual, this is just me. It looks a whole lot like there was a mixture of various governments. When I say various governments, I mean not only the American government. Actually, fuck it, I'll just say it. I think the American government and the Israeli government, along with organized crime, all had something to do with the assassination of the Kennedys. Talking about Bobby and Bobby and JFK. And to go an extra level, I would say that those same groups of people all were involved in the Kennedy assassination. I mean, not Kennedy, but the Martin Luther King assassination also. So I'll leave that there for you guys all to simmer and think on. So what's your thoughts, sir?
I don't have many.
I know I said a lot there.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta have some thoughts on it. I just dropped a lot. What do you think? Am I just like way off the map in the crazy land, or does that sound like that has some smoke there? Like it could be something plausible. I mean, I can go into more reasons on why I think that, but I just want you to know, does my theory just sound like it's just a crazy conspiracy theorist just throwing a bunch of shit off the wall?
No, not all of it. No, not at all. I mean, I don't know which way to go, right? Because we go to Kanye, we go to Kyrie. We could go
I'm talking about just on how much do you think that when I say the U.S. government, the Italian government, maybe not even the whole government, maybe just elements within Mossad and the Italian mafia had to do with those 3 assassinations, and I believe more, but for right now, we'll just say those 3. Mm-hmm. So Ruby says it totally has smoke. Okay, cool. Because here's something that a lot of people will say, well, King, because he was trying to get everybody together, and just no. When he started having some dealings and wouldn't declare his viewpoint on the Israel-Palestine situation, Israel got really pissed off at him. Also, the King of Jordan was trying to give him some land over there. And that when the 7-day war kicked off and all that, I think some of that had to do with some things. That's all I'm saying for right now. And then it's known that the mafia did have some ties with paying people in Cuba. And so if you look back into Kennedy, JFK in particular, he was having a lot of questions about the Dimona power plant out there and alluding to the fact that he believed that Israel already had nuclear weapons when they were not declared to be a nuclear state, and wanted some investigations into that. And that can get you killed, I believe, definitely, if you're dealing with a government which can do a lot of stuff without impunity. Or do a lot of stuff with impunity, I mean. And then factoring in the government had already been watching handfuls of these people, knowing that the mob also had their beefs with the Kennedys because Bobby Kennedy was going through trying to crack down on organized crime. I mean, you start doing the math and it starts adding up, in my opinion. Choosy says, I'm with you, Marcus. It's all sovereign military order of Malta under the blanket goings on. Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff that goes on is a lot of cloak and dagger, and it's the reason why I used to like all these kind of like Bourne type movies, because I believe that this is not only believe, I know for a fact this kind of stuff goes on. It's just a matter of the details of what the objective is. Let's see. Mr. Tree says, I'm quiet on the mafia. Hear you though. Yeah, but a lot of people don't want to speak out on when I start talking stuff like that. I get it. But I look at it like this. It's a scripture that I'll go into and I'll paraphrase it. It basically says, you know, when a rich man speaks, everyone listens. But when a poor man speaks, they basically ignore it. And then like, who is he? And ready to tear him down. So I can say it. Ain't nobody going to listen to me. The powers that be are not even going to let people start questioning anything that I'm talking about. But, you know, like we'll talk about later with Kanye, when a Kanye starts speaking some of these things that I talk about, then you see heads start rolling. and you start seeing people pay attention, and you start seeing it dominate media and whatever, whether they agree or not. The fact of the matter is, it's still dominating the media. But we were talking about Elon. Let's get to Elon now. And I want to kind of share this one video in particular because this does a good timeline. And I swear I want to go back and look up when I was talking about the Elon. Remember we were talking about this Elon Musk stuff, Chris, and I kept saying that I do think eventually he's going to buy it.
Well, they forced him.
Well, I think it was his plan in the first place.
Well,
I think this is all. Well, who do you mean by who forced him? By who do you mean?
The board, Twitter, through courts, through their attorneys, forced him to complete with the transaction because he was saying, "I want to buy it. Here's a dollar amount. Here's a purchase price I'm offering." Then he's basically said, "Well, I want to see your due diligence. I want to see how many bot accounts you actually know about on the platform." That's when Twitter started going crazy and saying, "Oh, he's difficult. We don't know. We're not doing it." I wonder why. You know, they didn't want to lose more money than they were. Well, not lose more money, but they didn't want the purchase price to go any lower.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Jacob, I see what you're talking about over there. Yeah, we are going to go into that. So,
2 seconds, Marcus. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
All right. We are definitely going to go into that about what happened. In fact, I'm trying to figure, should I run with that right now or not? I could just go on ahead and pull that up and run with it since Jacob is already talking about it over there. Yeah, I need to pull that up. And then we can go into Elon after that. I probably just need to pull up another window because this was kind of like a crazy story, and I've only heard about it a little bit on Twitter. Where was it? Why don't I want to put North Korea? That's not North Korea. All right. Oh, that's right. I need to switch off. I need to switch my YouTubes first for a minute. That way we don't have to keep getting interrupted with commercials. See, I don't trust Reuters. I don't trust Global News. Who was it? Trying to be more careful so we don't keep getting the copyright strikes every 5 minutes. Yeah, they tend to be normally cool. Let's go with this one from Sky News. So I will let the newscaster tell you guys first what's happened, and then we will talk about it a little bit afterwards. Jacob already has like tons of theories into this, which I haven't really gotten deep enough into it yet to know if it's more than what we see on the surface, but we'll definitely talk about it.
At least 120 people have been killed during a stampede at a Halloween event in South Korea. Dozens were in cardiac arrest when officials arrived on the scene. To our viewers, this package does contain graphic content.
Arriving here, we got this stunning news from the fire officials who have been responding out here. About 900 or so police and firefighters here on the scene, and the news is just about as bad as we could have imagined. I was walking past people in Halloween costumes on the phone, absolutely sobbing, calling their family members to let them know that they're okay. You can see that there are stretchers out here waiting to see if there are any more people who need to be taken to the hospital. But the videos that have been appearing on social media, combined with the emergency alerts, we knew that something really awful had happened here. This is to set the scene for you, Fred. This is the Itaewon. Oh, is it possible to go through here? CNN, just through here. Thank you. This is the Itaewon nightclub district in Seoul. It is iconic for, among other major holidays, Halloween. People fly in from all over the region here in Asia to come here to celebrate Halloween in East Taiwan. Come over here, Charlie, if we can. Just let's see. I just want to take you down this row of emergency vehicles here, and you can see this line of stretchers. So all the hotels in this area are sold out, and it's actually at the Hamilton Hotel, which is right here to my left. Excuse me. There was a Halloween party, and apparently some sort of an incident happened. People fell down. It's being described in local media as a stampede, but people essentially were crushed. They fell. Let's get up closer here. And people raced out into the street. A lot of the streets here are very, very densely packed. There were tens of thousands of people out here. And the videos on social media showed people in costume lying on the ground, not moving, suffered cardiac arrest. And so the videos that we saw, and we were afraid that people might actually be dead on the street there. It turns out they were. Others were taken to area hospitals. They've had to open up extra hospital beds. You have the president of South Korea. He convened an emergency meeting of his disaster management team. They have a disaster management medical team on scene here now. So this is a federal incident. Undoubtedly got to be one of the worst that they've seen here in Seoul in quite some time, although I don't have historical statistics.
Yeah, so
he kept saying the video. So we seen the video, and I don't know.
The guy in first, he said that it was going to be some disturbing scenes, which I don't really know was disturbing. You just showed a bunch of people like stretchers and him talking and a bunch of people standing around. But other videos that I saw, there was actual like bodies laid out. Jacob over here on Rockfin was saying that he saw something about them spraying stuff into the air. And I did, I'm not sure if that was in Korea where I saw that. I thought that was China. But I mean, I could be wrong. It could be that was something that was going on there. And he said something about up to 50 people dying of heart attacks. And he said he heard about heart attacks and heart arrest, but all of a sudden it's no longer, they're no longer reporting that. So I don't know. I think this may be something we need to keep our eye on and watch out for and see what the heck's going on with this. So something's interesting going on. Your thoughts?
I don't know. I need to see more.
Yeah.
I can't make a determination based on what they said because quite honestly, that looks like a lot of the news scenes here where they have a lot of shit in the background, designed to make you think and feel one way. He's like, look, they got the stretchers lined up here waiting for people and everybody's in a mask. And I don't know. Do we know what, was it a Bad Bunny concert or BTS or something? Like,
this one from NBC. That's what I'm saying. Oh, wow. I'm going to risk it. Damn it. Because I want us to try to figure out what the heck happened at all and trying to see if we could find some video of it getting, fuck it, I'm going to play this anyway. NBC is normally, they don't want to be. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna play PBS, and who knows? Let's see what happens when I play PBS. This will be a test, and we'll know. Okay, we can play PBS or not, or if this is gonna slap us on the hand, and we don't need to touch them again. But I could. Eventually, as we start to gain more and more, we're gonna start going Rockfin only on some of this stuff.
Good evening. We begin tonight with tragedy in South Korea. At least 146 people have died and another 150 were injured after an apparent crowd crush during Halloween festivities in Seoul's popular Itaewon district. Joining us by phone is William Gallo. He's the Seoul bureau chief for the Voice of America. William, it's just a little past 6 a.m. Sunday for you there now. I know you spent much of the night in Itaewon. What's the situation there now?
John, what's up, man?
Well, this is a police scene now in certain areas of the Itaewon district, which is sort of a party-going area, especially on the weekends, especially at Halloween. the biggest night of the year in this area is Halloween. Everyone dresses up. It's a big deal. There were masses of crowds. Obviously, when this chaos broke out, there was a lot of confusion. I think a lot of people were inside clubs listening to music, and then it slowly dawned on them that something had happened. By now, there are certain areas that are policing. Other parts, there are still partiers in clubs, and there's club music going on, even while bodies are still being loaded into ambulances.
Damn, that's cold.
You say bodies still being loaded into ambulances. Is that death toll likely to rise, do you think?
I think that we have most of the bodies accounted for at this point. However, there is an expectation that many of the injured will succumb to their wounds. We have about 150 injured. It's just really a nightmare of a situation. There's still a lot of confusion going on, a strange mix of people dressed up in Halloween costumes, both sort of in various states of sobriety, confused, some not concerned at all, others, really just mourning and crying on the street.
Is there any sense or any idea from the people you talked to of what triggered this?
No, it was a.
Yeah, this I guess I that got at the gist of things. I mean, we don't have to keep going into that, but that's one I wanted to show that it looks a little bit more chaotic. Yeah, I think but that's what we'll do. Probably pause it now and then. I think that was enough though. That got across. On Twitter, got some good videos, Marcus. Oh, shout out to John Kemper out there. What's up, John? I honestly think it's a situation of you have drunk people. I mean, you can see that the crowds are massive for a lot of people, and you factor in alcohol and let one thing go the wrong way, and it's easy for people to start running over people, which it could be no more than honestly just that people got trampled, which should be a warning to anybody who's out there who's going to any of these Halloween parties. Be careful out there drinking, be careful out there in these massive crowds so that you don't end up in a situation like this. I mean, of course, we always keep our eyes open for the possibility it could be anything else. It could be something nefarious that happened, or it could just be simply that a lot of drunk people, somebody made a noise the wrong way. Somebody could have attacked somebody and caused, say for instance, like if somebody was in the middle of the crowd and they stabbed somebody or shot somebody and everybody starts running, that could have led to a stampede. I mean, especially when you have a massively crowded area. So I just say everybody out there, make sure to take a situation like this as a warning and be careful with your plans and festivities as some of you guys go out for these different parties.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know enough about this to say one thing or the other, but from what I just saw and what I heard, I'm a little skeptical as to like the extent to which it happened.
Choosy. I'll ask can you clarify your question a little bit more when you said my question for the panel is what are the chances that Kanye is sincerely naive as opposed to insincerely naive? I realize this. I don't know. Can you clarify that question more? We're going to talk about Kanye after. We're going to talk about Kanye. Or that's right. I'm reading your comment. Damn. That's right. He said his name is Ye. And he has officially changed his name to Ye. And so I'm not going to keep calling the man Kanye if he says his name is Ye. I think that's also something some of these people in the media that are doing, they're doing it on purpose, being dismissive to him, like, yeah, whatever. Your name's Kanye. I don't give a fuck. If the man says his name is Ye, the man's name is Ye. So I'm gonna do my best to continuously call people what they want to be called. So we will leave it at that on that. But yeah, you got to clarify what you mean because we might be on different sides of the issue we might be on the same side, but just need clarification from that question. So let's get on to the Elon real quick. Or I don't know. Did you want to add any context to what I was saying there, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Not right now.
We're gonna wait till we get into the whole issue. All right, here we go.
Of the deal, Elon Musk has now finally purchased Twitter. He's completed his $44 billion acquisition, and as a first move, he has fired the top executives of Twitter. The Musk has accused the leaders of Twitter of misleading him on the number of spam accounts. He's now terminated Twitter Chief Executive Parag Agrawal, the Chief Financial Officer Ned Siegel, and also the Legal Affairs and Policy Chief Vijaya Gadde. Remember, she, of course, was the one who took the decision of banning Donald Trump from Twitter. Now, reports say that right after this signing, Parag Agrawal and Siegel were escorted out of the Twitter headquarters. The Musk and his team only had till today midnight to finalize the deal, and even before the official announcement, Musk had already declared his acquisition of the microblogging site. It was a sort of a heartfelt message for his Twitter adversaries. I'm quoting, and this is what he has tweeted. The reason I acquired Twitter is because it is important to the future of civilization to have a common digital town square. He further went on to state that he didn't buy Twitter to make more money. He didn't buy Twitter to make more money. Rather, he claims that he's purchased Twitter to help humanity. He also called for a warm and a welcoming platform for all, but not a quote-unquote free-for-all hellscape. The Musk reiterated that not everything will be allowed on the platform. Some content could, of course, face some serious consequences. Now, these latest comments are just an extension of what he's been saying all along. A special focus will, of course, be to defeat spam bots on the website. The Musk wants to change many aspects of social media, but how they will translate in real life is something that remains to be seen. Just 2 days ago, the billionaire had sent the Twitterati's into a bit of a frenzy. He had posted a video of himself walking into the Twitter headquarters, of all things, carrying a sink with the caption, "Let that sink in." Now, the theatrics, of course, didn't end there. Elon Musk also changed his Twitter bio to read Chief Twit. Now, if these weren't enough, he has now listed his location as the Twitter headquarters in San Francisco. But the acquisition is a culmination of a remarkable saga. It was full of twists and turns, and at one point had even sowed doubt over the deal going through. It all began on the 4th of April when Elon Musk disclosed a 9.2% stake in the company, making him the largest shareholder. Now, he has purchased Twitter for the $44 billion that he'd originally said that he'd want to purchase the company for.
Yeah. Let me stop that real quick. Crap, where's it go? Damn, I close it and stop it. Shut. But yeah, actually, let me read this this comment from Uma that tied into the last thing that we were talking about, and then we can give our thoughts on it. It says it's so crowded, and that the oxygen could be less, especially in areas with less trees, such as urban areas or heavy pollution. I agree. So that's one thing I was saying. It could be a possibility that led to some of these deaths, asphyxiation. All those things could have fired in. So it's still too early to be able to know exactly. So I'll wait a little while before I start making, I'll wait till I know more info to have more commentary. But, tragedy that happened for all those people out there. And I would reiterate again, if you guys are going out for any kind of holiday plans or, Halloween, things like that, make sure you all are careful. It doesn't even have to be a stampede. It could just be, you're out in the area with a lot of drinking, violence can happen, mass shootings can happen, people spiking drinks, a lot of date rape, things like that happen during this time period. So just be careful out there for all your Halloween plans and for, the holidays that are coming up soon. Chris, your thoughts on the whole Musk acquisition? What are you thinking, sir? Oh, you're on mute, sir.
Well, it's interesting considering that we're going into election season, and then let the purchase, go through at this time. I don't know. Going forward, I don't think he's going to allow people to truly speak their mind. So he's going to be tested, and there's going to be things said, and then he'll have to basically act like the old regime.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
I mean, I know.
Here's the thing with that.
Somebody
Marcus, here's the thing with that, right? Is I could turn on the PlayStation and hear way worse than what I'm gonna read on Twitter. I could go on to Reddit and read what way worse shit there than I'll see on Twitter. So to the extent about, people getting away with it a little bit more on Twitter, nah, we got bigger fish than that,
Mm-hmm. Which I think that kind of, I mean, I would echo that sentiment. I mean, there are just a lot of bot accounts on there which are saying a lot of reckless stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put it like this, and I guess the Black Twitter area, we hear stuff like this a lot more. And I think these are bot accounts, a lot of them. It's just like whenever there'll be a thread and somebody's talking about Black issues, then you hear this one random comment that's like, what? It throws in something that's kind of off the wall. It'll be like, well, do you know that there's 30 million people who are in slavery around the world? It's kind of like trying to diminish the crimes of slavery in the Americas to try to make it like, well, what about these other people? Basically, whataboutism. And try to delegitimate what you're talking about. And I see these a lot of times. I'm pretty sure plenty of them are people's troll accounts where they got a second account where they set up and then they just go in and troll people. I mean, I reported one of them earlier today. Everything they had to say, looking through their issues, it was all either had to do with some kind of racial issue, dealing with the Black community, being on the opposite side of anybody who's complaining about any kind of racial injustice as a Black person, or it was Democrats bad. And I was noticing this is, hopefully those Twitter narcissists aren't just gaslighting me. Yeah. I mean, Twitter's interesting.
That's what they do, right?
So Shuzi says, I'm still a Twitter virgin and planning on staying that way. Although somebody told me that one of my copy paste quotes from YouTube is trending over there. Well, maybe there are trolls sitting at the bottom of everything. Yeah. Well, sometimes they're not sitting at the bottom. Sometimes they're at the top too. I run into, or what I see also is Twitter will prioritize sometimes, your message. So if it's people who are supporting certain things, then they might promote some of those tweets. And I think that's part of what the whole Elon thing is going to possibly make a change in some areas. I think it's going to cut both ways. It's going to be some good. It's going to be some bad. But I think it's going to change a lot of it being more favorable for mainstream Democrats, like the whole pro-Ukraine, everybody's a Russian bot. Those kind of people, the blue no matter who crowd is going to be miserable. Some of the MAGA crowd's going to be a little bit happier. But I also think at the same time, some of the people who call themselves communists and socialists are going to be a little bit happier also, because I feel like the vote blue no matter who crowd hates any and everybody who is not vote blue no matter who. And like some of the people who are like politically homeless, like some of us, where we don't have a political party and I'm not looking for one, that's going to be thrown in and factored in. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll address your comments. I had a feeling I was going to probably disagree, and I think I'll be able to lay out some of my answers to what I disagree with about what you're saying, Choosy. But yeah, back to the Elon stuff. Yeah, the algorithm should. But see, that's the thing. If the algorithm is focused in a way where it goes after. It's like how Biden was trying to have that ministry of truth kind of thing. That kind of shit like that is what we're talking about, where you have the mainstream narrative being pushed. It's kind of like how a lot of this, even on here on YouTube, with now some of the stuff which they're admitting was true. If you said that a year ago, your whole Twitter channel was getting taken down, or you were getting strikes and all kinds of stuff like that. And so, I mean, I honestly feel like Twitter is not even really that bad. It's worse on a site like YouTube. There's more of a stranglehold over here. There's more of an algorithm that's going against people here. Your thoughts, Chris?
No, it's definitely worse here than it is, on Twitter. This is more. This gets way more views, right? Because everyone would prefer watching a video over. Everyone's watching a video over listening to or reading words.
Yeah, I mean, and like, for instance, for those, some people don't even realize like that we do stream on Twitter also. I've seen times where all of a sudden we're getting views, and then I look at it, I know for a fact my Twitter account is being throttled back and people are not seeing my tweets. I've had times where I've put out polls and I've gotten 3,000, 4,000 people to respond to the poll. And now I can barely get more than like 30 or 40 people. I know that something has happened where now, like, you can look at, how you can go in and you can look at your impressions or engagement on your tweets, where I used to get per tweet, easily get 300 impressions, and watch that dwindle down to like 25 impressions, letting me know that people are not even seeing my tweet. Not even people who have notifications for me who want to see my tweets are even seeing it. And I think that maybe he could probably deal with some of that. Now, long term, there are some things that I do worry about with Elon taking over. And I think even the people who are happy for Elon don't factor in this part. We're dealing with a guy who made most of his money through government contracts. The guy that made most of his money through government contracts and who works often with the DOD. How do we not know that this is just transferring more into DOD's hands? And when he starts working on more of it, like a lot of people, like he was going to do his Neuralink thing and it got bumped back, and people were writing stories like, oh, well, he just doesn't have all the ducks in a row, or he doesn't have it all worked out. I don't think that's what it is at all. I think what it is he didn't want to have his Twitter stuff and that stomped on at the same time. He wanted to spread those out so they get enough coverage over both events. And so I think that's what we need to work. Baba says, do you think he's sick of being DOD puppet? No, because the moment he stops being the DOD puppet, exactly, he's going to get the Kanye treatment. That's what's going to happen to him.
He's going to get treated like an African American.
Yes, Venti Cafe says 100, Marcus. These billionaires are the biggest welfare queens. Exactly. The billionaires which we know of are not the billionaires that are doing anything or controlling anything. They're not the ones that really have the real deal money. It's a reason why Bernie will get on. It's a reason why when he was running, he said, the millionaires and the billionaires. And he would throw out Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and Elon Musk. And that's it. How many times you even hear him really talk about Michael Bloomberg?
Yeah, right.
He knew which couple of names that he could throw out. And he knew which names to never, ever fucking bring up. Did you ever hear him bring up Michael Dell? No. Nope. Do you ever hear him bring up, did you hear him criticize Zuckerberg for what he's doing in Facebook and Meta or any of this stuff? Do you hear him bringing up BlackRock. Do you hear him bringing up Berkshire Hathaway? Do you hear him bringing up Alphabet or Google or any of these people? No, there's certain billionaires he would not dare wag his tongue against them. And it's the reason why, because he's controlled opposition just as much as Bill Gates. Bill Gates isn't the ultimate, he's not the one who's running this stuff. He's not doing anything. Another person, and a lot of the people in indie media, this is where I myself definitely split from the rest of the crowd. Everybody thinks Klaus Schwab is doing something. Klaus Schwab is a fucking errand boy also. The fact that you know his name is a testament to the fact that he is not the one who's running things. It's just like many of us know who Ye is. Many of us know who Jay-Z is. Many of us know who Drake is. But most of us have no clue who controls the distribution to hip hop music. We don't know who's pushing the music around. We don't know who's the person who's the reason why you're hearing a song 8 times a day if you listen to the radio. Most of us don't know who these people are. These are the people who really run shit. That's Ruby, you're correct. That's a part of them. I mean, did you know a lot of people don't know it's something like 75% of of the books which go through our schools are funded by the Rockefellers. A good chunk of the black universities are created by the Rockefellers. Shit, Spelman is literally named after John D. Rockefeller's wife. So a lot of people don't realize exactly the banks, but then you have to start going back to who's running these banks. When you start going into the fact that Forbes is also only putting out who they want to put out. They're not putting everybody out. Think about it. Do they even, the only people that they'll tell you who is a trillionaire is they'll say MBS. MBS, what's the other one in United Arab Emirates? They'll talk about that they're trillionaires. So you're going to tell me that these people who live in countries which the West will put sanctions on and basically cripple the countries, that there's not people in the Western power that have more wealth and power than them? That it doesn't work that way. What it is they know how to keep themselves off the books, off the radar. And there's a reason why. It's a reason why all these people at the top sit there and hide behind certain people. And, I might get myself into trouble saying some of this stuff, but I guess this rolls perfectly into our next segment when we start talking about Kanye. Or Ye, my bad. Or I don't know, do you have any more thoughts on the whole Elon stuff before I switched over?
Nah.
Because I want to address what Chuzy was saying. I'm gonna go back and pull that quote up, what you were saying. Because here, actually, you know what? I won't even do that. Let me show you something real quick. When people talk about, well, is he just ignorant or he doesn't know what he's saying? You got to remember, this man is sitting in the room. This man has been sitting in the room for over 20 years. At the tops of the industry. He's not dealing with the secretaries. He's dealing with the people who run the machine. And so when he's sitting in boardrooms, he knows who the hell he's talking to. He knows who the hell who's signing paychecks. He knows who's denying people. He knows who make these records spin. And he also knows how information gets run to print so fast. He knows what's going on here. In fact, he knows, and even the people who criticize him know. Let me show you an example. You guys remember Charlemagne the God, right? Chris, for those who don't know, tell them who Charlemagne is.
Charlemagne the God is a radio personality who was from South Carolina, He started with Wendy Williams, another longtime radio personality. They specialize in gossip on primarily rappers and people in the music business. And they'll touch on actors in Hollywood and things like that, but their main focus is hip hop and the people inside of hip hop. Charlemagne left Wendy Williams' station and he went and joined the Breakfast Club about 10 or 11 years ago. And he's just a glorified troll who lightens his skin and is done some real questionable, funny shit and comes across gay. He gives another man, we give him a mold of his buttocks. Yeah, I'm not with that shit. I don't play them kind of games, dog. So,
yeah. And it's like, I want to point out this one thing here first. I'm going to put this on the screen.
And he's now the de facto stop for all politicians when they want to reach the black community, right? So he's part of the list of people who's on the approved list, shall we say. You just have to be a little bit careful because you don't want to catch a Joe Biden moment and say that, you're not black if you don't vote for me. They want to avoid those type of
avoid those
type of comments. But at the end of the day, they're glorified gossip queens who will take political interviews because they will take it easy on the subject, i.e. Hillary, Joe, and every other Democrat that goes on there.
No.
Stacey Abrams and the like. I don't see Stacey Abrams doing shit. I don't see her she's not involved in nothing hip hop related. But she's on Versus. She's on the Breakfast Club. I swear the Democrats really just they're so blatant with their bullshit. Specialize in gossip.
Yeah, that's what he does. Specialize in gossip. And he also will, what they've done is they kind of unofficially elected him to speak for the black community. That's what they've done. And he's controlled. He dances to the field. Yeah, he's on the approved list. They control what comes out of the black community, the voice that's heard.
And the thing is, because he has had a few contentious moments, they will use that to their advantage and say,
"Oh, you mean him being caught up with a little young girl?"
Well, no, not that. Not that. Because he's had a couple contentious moments with certain politicians, they'll say, well, he's not always favorable to us sometimes, but it's all part of the show.
Well, yeah, you got to have some fake resistance.
Yeah, you got to make it look like just not everybody's, sucking you off, so to speak.
Well, I mean, he basically does the same thing a TYT does. Oh, these damn Democrats and blah, 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 blah. Man, we got to fight. And the squad has to do. They all talk all this bullshit. And then what's going to happen? The same thing with the David Doles or the Humanist Report or all of these people over there. They're all going to do that. And then when election time comes, what are they going to tell you to do? Well, I mean, the Republicans are so bad. You got to, I know we don't like it, but we got to just vote for the Democrats and just try to push them to the left. Well, trying to push them to the left now has us sitting at the footsteps to freaking World War III. Which I forgot. We didn't even go into that. I almost want to hold the Kanye for a little bit more because I know there's so many avenues I want to go into with the Kanye thing. There's so much that's not being said. Because I just want to give you guys, I'm gonna make it quick too. I know I put it in the thumbnail, so I want to make sure that I bring it up. I'll make it quick. Did you have any thoughts you want to say on Russia real quick, or want me to go?
Other than they're fucking with the international community again, is fucking with Russia, but at the same time, it's not as if their hands are clean either. So again, this is just a dirty display of geopolitical games, and they want people to pick a side and again, it's one of those things where I'm just watching where not everything makes sense. And a lot of it looks like theater. They playing around with each other. So it's just one of them things where I'm going to just take a step back and just watch the movie. I'm not going to get myself too involved in it because a lot of it does seem like theater.
Well, my perspective is you got a man who does not want to have a battle, and a battle is being brought to his footsteps. And you can only try to avoid the fight for so long before you have no choice but to fight the fight. That's what I see in the situation. I told people more than a year ago that there's a possibility that we're going to be seeing Russia and China going against the United States and the starts of World War III. I mean, those who follow the channel for a while, you guys know I've been saying this for quite some time. I mean, and Chris will tell you, he's like, him and L, man, they be tag teaming me, going against me. Like, nah, you're wrong. But
I really do think if they do, it'll just remain with the proxies in Ukraine. I don't see it. Look, here's the thing. Their artificial intelligence and robotic programs, they're not up to speed yet. They won't be able to serve all of the first class, right, or the 1%. If we were further advanced in that to the point to where most, if not all of the 1% or top 2-3% could live comfortably without human beings, then I would say, yeah, they may push the button. We're not at that place yet.
No, we're not at the push the button level. No, we're not at that level.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not saying that. This is still going to take some more time. I mean, like I always say, there's order to prophecy. But we're watching a slow motion car wreck. The car wreck is still going to happen. We're just watching it in slow motion. And it keeps ramping up more and more and more. And the one thing that people don't realize is, and there's certain times when I talk about like the possibility of the U.S. being hit with nukes. Even nuke, and there are such thing as like levels to the nukes. They could detonate a small nuke, and it just destroy a town. But you still got to deal with the that fallout fissile material which floats in the air and can contaminate other areas. That said, the reason why I say that it'll be kind of all pandemonium at that point, because once you start using that, it's going to escalate real fast. You're going to start seeing whole chunks of land masses and literally millions of people start dying, or up to maybe hundreds of thousands, and then eventually into the millions. And eventually you start seeing billions of people being wiped off the map. That is a real possibility. And, when you hear these shitleds, they don't get that. They think that it's more important to fight, and not realize like, yo, you got a whole lot to fucking lose in this situation. There's a certain time when you need to, back your pride down and realize this is not like you're at the poker table and you got $1 million and you're betting 10,000. No, right now you're putting the whole million up, and you're willing to bet and either win it all or lose it all. And that needs to be factored in. I don't think a lot of people are taking the gravities to where we are seriously. Now, me myself, I believe in biblical prophecy. So I believe this is coming. There's not much we can do with it. And I also know what the Bible says is coming afterwards. That's what gives me my comfort. You all do not have to believe. But it says, it's some belief. Basically paraphrasing, because you don't believe, does that change the prophecies? No, it does not change it because you don't believe. I mean, it's just like you can get into a fight and get your ass beat, and you can think that you didn't lose, but people can see the knots and bruises and the blood dripping out of your face and nothing on the other person, and can tell you clearly you lost. We can think whatever the hell we want to. Reality is a different thing. So I'm noticing the escalations. I'm noticing that Putin has gotten more of a license to be able to do more military capabilities, and it's about to go from the phase of a special expedition into him being able to use everything in the toolbox. And what that means is, that's not saying boom, that's jumping straight to nukes. That's saying now he's going to start using a higher level of troops. Now he's going to start using, more weapons and bombs. It's just like when I was in the military, when we're testing and we're doing little small stuff, yeah, we have certain things that we can use, but we also hold something back all the time. And Russia does the same thing. Any superpower would have stuff that they're holding back for when they need to use it. But the fact that he switched from all these little small offensive back and forth to bombing out the electrical grid and the infrastructure and things like that, that shows you that there's an escalation happening. And he was touching certain cities. Now he's touching everything. And so and you're starting to see that we're moving troops to literally like 2 or 3 miles from the Ukrainian border where there's actual fighting going on, meaning the higher possibility that you have an active duty American troop get killed in battle. The moment that happens, the media is going to ratchet up tensions massively and start to ask for the U.S. to get actively involved versus just mercenaries and, sending NATO on missions and kind of keep it under wraps. You're going to start seeing a more active approach. And the one thing our generals know for a fact is our nuclear capabilities are not on par with Russia. We might have better delivery systems and, we have a lot of things that are number one in the world. But when it comes to nukes, we do not have them beat in that area. They will tell you that we don't have anything that could stop their nukes. And so when you start playing that game, it's going to go somewhere else real fast. And it'll be the first time where Americans have to know what it's like to actually lose. And what I mean lose is, say, for instance, even if you win, you're going to have war on American soil. You don't just get to support a war that's happening 5,000 miles away. You're going to have to deal with a war that's up front, and you're going to have to watch your cities be bombed out. You're going to have to watch, babies and stuff like that and people around you be murdered and killed and maimed. You're going to have to see all that. And I don't think a lot of Americans get the reality of where we are going. And I just want to prepare all of you out there. That's my goal. And anything that I'm saying, I could be wrong, but my goal is to prepare you all for what is to come. So you can all either maybe flee from the country, maybe do this, maybe do whatever it is, that you're all keeping your head on the swivel for what's to come. And so that you don't fall victim to what is to come. Sorry, I did my little rant, but yeah, I'm just telling you, things are heating up, and I'm pretty sure by next week it's going to get crazier. You already have the weather starting to get colder, especially in Ukraine. That's going to start affecting some of these weapon systems that America's been sending them. The Ukrainians only have so many bodies in the military that they can keep on fighting, no matter how much money that NATO and the West is pushing into them. So, hey, it's getting dire straits, I feel like, in this situation, and I don't think people are taking it as serious as they need to. BRICS countries against NATO. Yeah, you also have Saudi Arabia, which is looking to try to join BRICS. That's something that people need to watch out for. Yeah, men think they have
one thing that is guaranteed and for certain, though, is the elites of every country will play with the lives of their people.
Yes.
And the quicker people realize that, the better off they'll be in separating themselves from the system. Again, you're not going to be able to fight armies and defense forces and police. You're just going to have to find a way to separate yourself from the system. That's all it's going to boil down to, really.
Be prepared. Keep your head on the swivel. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Jared. Yeah, the 101st Airborne Division, which has been in every conflict. They go all the way back to World War II.
You know, Choosy, I understand that peaceful carnation revolution in
Can't stop revelations.
So it is shall written.
Mm-hmm.
Correct, but
Moses.
To Choosy, his comment about the peaceful carnation revolution. This country has never been peaceful. It was founded on bloodshed. They'll go out with spilling blood. That's not something that's going to be effective here. Putin just waiting for the ground to freeze.
Yep. Yeah, Ruby says, I knew Saudi was going to be on China and Russia's side, growing your own food, raising your own chickens, and also planning your escape. If you got to run to Canada, you got to run to Mexico, keep in mind for it. If you want to, if you got a little boat, you can hop in. Hey, Chris, I know you're not that far. You know, I got some people that you can hit up in Puerto Rico and Cuba that can take care of you. So, just let you know. Well, you got Jamaica too down there. So
we out.
Exactly. I'm just telling people, be ready for, you know, what might be to come. I mean, I know Baba's been probably listening to him, but Canadian Prepper has been talking a lot of good stuff. I mean, he sees what's coming. And I just think a lot of people, try have inflatable boats for on the ready. Exactly. Be prepared. Yeah, I know Trudeau is crazy, but you in that situation, they're going to be just trying to save whoever they can, and all the political stuff goes out the window at that point. Baba says every household in the U.S. should have this book, especially Nuclear War Survival Skills, updated and expanded 2022 edition regarding Ukraine, Russia, and the world. Yeah, Canadian Prepper was talking about that book. Definitely. So yes, Canadian Prepper, he's been on point. I think he gets a little what's the word? I think he's jumping the gun just a little bit. I think it's a little bit more of a delay to the events that he's talking about, but I do think that he's correct in his assessment. And if you listen to people like Scott Ritter, they can tell you some of these, like the minutia of things which are happening, you know, piece by piece as we start to see this puzzle fill out more and more. So yeah, that's the part I wanted to get out there. And I tell people, all they have to do literally is one thing which they definitely have that a lot of people have, that the U.S. has nothing that can stop it. EMP bombs. That's something that they have that worked down to a science. They literally can shut our power grid down. And so people are like, oh, but the U.S., they could just shoot back. Not if your power grid's down. Now, you could possibly shoot off from nuclear subs, but I think if they're to that point, they're going to coordinate that attack. And more than likely, they're going to have those Akulas out in the water going after our American subs also. So, I mean, trust me, when they plan on doing it, it's not going to be just, oh, well, they launched one over, and it's not going to be like, I don't think it's going to be planned out how anybody expects. Some people think, well, if they launched and automatically the U.S. is launched and the whole world is gone. I don't believe that that's how it's going to go down, but you know, that's what I'll say on that. Let's see. Trudeau, chill, the boat spirit of. I think this is what I'll say, Choosy. I think you've gotten a little too focused on the organizations versus what they're actually doing and who's involved in some of this stuff. I read that there's only 25 days of diesel supply. Yeah, I have heard that too. I think it was Redacted that was talking about that, which that's kind of weird because you get diesel fuel from gasoline. So that means that we have to have less gasoline than we do diesel fuel. So I don't get, I mean, I've heard that, but I don't understand. It doesn't make much sense to me. Ruby says, I'm scared of Russia and China. They have already proven they are smarter strategically. China's already showed that they can launch a missile around the whole world, and our radars won't even pick it up before it's already landed back in China. So they've already showed that the moment that they want to pow on us, we're already, we're already completely undermatched. And then the fact of this whole dirty bomb stuff that they're talking about with Ukraine and false flags and possibly hitting, what was the one, we're forgetting what it's called, the power plant, Chernobyl. Already talking about a dirty bomb going off in Chernobyl. So it's just a lot, man. It's a lot that's going on. And I just think it's a lot we need to watch out for. Oh, back onto something I was thinking about with the whole Elon Musk thing. That brain chip thing where he's working on, where you can control the computer with your mind. That's all going to tie into Twitter stuff. For those who know, Mark of the Beast, get ready for it. That's coming. That's
going to make it cool.
That's why I say order of prophecy. Well, it says beware of the hour of temptation. You're going to be tempted with it first before you're forced to do it. So that's where the whole growing your gardens, which Baba is talking about, plays in. Because there's going to be a time where these shelves are going to start getting empty too. So all those things, that's where the prepping is going to actually start weighing in and helping you. And I hope that you all are ready for that. Let me double check on to the Rockfian side. The prophecy in every religion is just about these evil powers. Well, I think the problem is I feel Christianity has screwed up a lot of people's understanding, and it has created a lot of doubts in the prophecy because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Because most of those people are the same people who are going to enact the damn problems. So therefore, the beast itself can't tell you. The beast is the one who's trying to trick you. So that's what I say as far as there. All right, so let's get on to the Ye situation. Oh shit, did I just delete something I needed? I think I did. Well, let me pull up something because I want to show this first, and then we can go on to some other things that I can show. Anybody who keeps going on with this whole anti-Semitism, for one, with me, don't use that damn term. Do not use that term. And I'm going to tell you why to not use that term with me. Because a handful of people after 1948 decided to redefine something and make a term only about themselves, which it is not about them. And play on the fact that the whole world doesn't know what the hell Semitism is, or being a Semite, or what anti means. Anti means against. Calling out what somebody does is not necessarily that you hate them. That's one of the misconceptions which has been done, first of all. Two, when you sit there and there's at least another 9 to 10 other Semitic groups of people, and you exclude them off and only talk about yourself, which is the only one which is white, and all the black and brown ones, they don't count anymore. That's already a form of white supremacy, what you're doing. That you say, oh, well, it's anti-Semitism when you talk about Jewish people. But what the fuck about the Palestinians? These are Semitic people also. These people know that they go back to Ishmael. There are people who know that they go back to Aram, who are Aramites, Elamites. These are people who know I do descend from Elon. That they can literally show you, yes, I am a Semite. This is my whole line. And Jewish people decide, I'm just going to take over the term, colonize the whole entire term, and say it only applies to me. That pisses me off when I even hear people use that stupid ass term, because they don't even use it correctly. Most of the people don't even realize that they're not the only Semites. That's the first part. We literally have a whole entire media which is using the term entirely wrong. And when you confront even rabbis and Jewish people on it, they'll admit, oh, well, yeah, I mean, I know that, but so you're intentionally lying. You're intentionally using this wrongly on purpose, which shows that's already being deceptive. But yet the very people who are using the term intentionally deceptive, we have to listen that these people are not being deceptive on other things. That's the first thing which I want to lay the floor out there. I know I've talked about this before multiple times, but let me show you something. Kanye showed an updated version of this. This is from, what you missed is we talked a little bit about World War III, possibilities of that, Russia, Ukraine, and now we're getting into the whole Ye stuff, which eventually we'll get into Kyrie also. Which honestly, Kyrie shared a tweet from Ron Dalton. And Ron Dalton came out with a documentary called Hebrews to Negroes, which I definitely recommend checking it out. At least hear out what the brother is saying before you automatically start labeling him something. But a lot of people, including the what is it, Houston that he's with? I can't remember. YouTube is putting on screen. Yeah, like, why? Huh. I wonder why it's that's where is it putting that at? That's being talked about. Well, Edomite is a Semite also, but that gets into some stuff. Man. Where is it? This is what I want to show you all. I feel like sometimes, no, not that one. Let's see. I got two things that I want to show because I read some of this on my other. So we're typing just Edomite alone, it won't go on screen. Yeah, because they're trying to hide it. Can you all see this?
No, not like that.
Let me try to see if I can zoom in. Actually, before I even zoom in, what this list is, and I'll read what the titles are. And so where I point the arrows, this is what it's saying. And I will put this in the chat. In fact, let me flip over there now so I can put it in the chat so everybody can be able to find this. Yeah, that way you guys can all look this up yourselves. Because I know somebody will watch this and say, well, he didn't pull it up big, so he could just say whatever he wants to. No, you guys can all click on this and see it for yourself. So it is now in the chat, but I'm going to read a little bit of what it is and I'll zoom in on it so you guys can see what it's saying. This right here, this first category, president, CEO, founder, owner, vice president, and chairman. These would be what the top 6 positions, right? These would be people who have power. A president obviously has power. A CEO, a founder, a owner, vice president, chairman. These people would have power of influence, correct? So on the side, what we have here, actually, these are different companies in general. Let me just read off a couple, then I'll explain what it's saying here. Universal Studios, 20th Century Fox, ABC News, CBS News, CNN News, Columbia Pictures, DreamWorks Studio, Warner Brothers, ESPN Sports, Fox News, Washington Post, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MTV Music Television, Nickelodeon Kids, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Comedy Central, NBC Entertainment, New York Times, Google, Reuters, The Atlantic, Disney, ABC Kids and Family, YouTube, Los Angeles Times, Discovery Network, Paramount Pictures, Facebook, Huffington Post, Yahoo, Marvel, Hulu, Cosmopolitan, Time Inc., Touchstone, Associated Pictures, Miramax Films, HBO, Pixar, New York Post, Imagine Entertainment, LucasArts, Reader's Digest, MSNBC, DreamWorks, and Comcast. In the red, actually, we'll start with the blue. They title it as These are the non-white people who are in these positions. So, of CEOs of all of these corporations, only Warner Brothers has a non-white CEO. Over here, founders, YouTube, and the the non-white is Kevin Tehushahara, which I would have, that definitely sounds more like a Japanese name. I could be wrong. Let's go over here. YouTube founder, non-white. We have Avery Chen, I believe, and Jawa. I can't even say that name. It sounds, I would say, like a Middle Eastern type name. Okay, down here at Huffington Post, it's a founder, Jerry Young. So you have one CEO who's non-white. You have three founders of all of these companies, which is non-white. Of course, you have NAs, which who knows, NAs could be any of these categories, but we're just going off of the information we can see. Vice presidents, Devon Franklin of DreamWorks, non-white. Nikesh Arora of Google, non-white. YouTube, Nikesh Arora, non-white. And Devon Maharaja, I don't know what that is. That sounds more like a Middle Eastern name or Arabic name, of the LA Times VP. And then over here as chairman of what is it? Now, granted, this is from 2013. So it's changed since then. Nickelodeon Kids, the chairman was Nick Cannon. The green are white, non-Jewish. The red are all Jewish. Now, when people sit out there and say that Kanye, he's just being anti-Semitic, well, just say the individual. You cannot sit here and try to play this game that there's no power that Jewish people have in controlling the media. You cannot keep telling that bold-faced fucking lie. Lex Friedman, you know this. And you guys who are listening to the media tell you this bullshit are not paying attention to what is obviously known from most people. Let me zoom in a little bit for you all, but I just wanted to get that out there because I have a little hard time navigating this thing. But does it make sense to you that 2.4% of the population literally has like 90% of control in most of these organizations? What that boils down to, in my opinion, is either you have to believe one of two things. Either you have to believe Jewish people are just so much smarter and so much more talented. That's how they just rose to these positions. Or there's something going on, that there might be some nepotism going on, that there might be some cronyism going on, that there is some kind of a close-knit organization, or not necessarily organization, but just being close as in helping each other to rise to these positions and keep out all of these other people. And we're talking about 2% of the population. 2.4% of the population has this much power. And then when somebody tries to say that this group of people has this much power, everyone says, that's anti-Semitic. It's a fucking fact. That is not no damn anti-Semitic.
And the fact remains is, much like many of the politicians, these entertainers, they too have dual citizenship.
I mean,
with other countries, not just
a couple
one.
of these people on here literally have like family members who were like high up in the government in Israel. There's a lot of silver spoon shit that goes on. And I mean, think about it. Chase Bank, one of the first ones that dropped him, Chase Bank, which was started by a Jewish man, literally got his money from slavery. See, when we're raised up, I'll say, yeah, when we're in school, we're raised up and we never talk about the fact that it's always put off on all the white people, the ones who were doing slavery. And then when it comes to civil rights and all that, the Jewish people act like they had nothing to do with nothing, and we're just here to help you. We didn't have nothing. They literally separate themselves from slavery and the slave trade and act like they had no hand in nothing. That's bullshit. And I'm tired of listening to people get on and lie about it. We talked about this earlier with some of the people who were hiding in the closet. Man, stop lying. That's where people have an issue. When you lie, okay, you have the control. It is what it is. It is what it is. We showed out basically 60% of the NBA and most of professional sports have a damn Jewish owner. If somebody said, you know what, hey, majority of the NBA is full of black people. Black people basically, as far as players, dominate the NBA. Not a black person out there is going to tell you that's racist. Because it's a fact. Just like when I sit here and tell you 60% of Jewish people do own NBA teams, 60% of the owners are Jewish, that's a fact. Now, if you want to go into exactly how 2% of the population got all of this damn power, that's a whole nother argument. That's a whole nother conversation. But to try to sit there and act like what's going on, what we've known, there's a reason why every damn black celebrity, so-called black celebrity, people like Michael Jackson have been called anti-Semite. There's a reason why Kanye's going on. There's a reason why Nick Cannon. There's a reason why so many people going back through all the way Sam Cooke, all the way back have been called anti-Semites because they're pointing out that they're getting screwed over by a small group of people who all work together. Here's something. How in the hell are people getting blackballed in Hollywood then? We all know that happens, and not just the black people. It happens all the time. How do you get blackballed if there's not a concerted effort where everybody's saying, no, fuck this person, we're not working with them? So right there, that shows you that they do work together to black people out. How is there such thing as a casting couch going on in Hollywood for all these fucking years? And only now Harvey Weinstein is the one who gets called out for it. People sit there and want to bury their heads in the sand and want to act like this shit is not going on and want to cry anti-Semitism. No. And that's the reason why I'm going so hard right now. Choosy, don't fall for their bullshit. Because that's exactly what this is. And just to double down on it, I could show you this. Let me pull this article up. I pulled this up on Hebrew Apologetics the other day. Let me show you this. This article, I remember somebody was like, yo, y'all better try to read that article before they yank it down. Is this anti-Semitism? Let me show you the top of it. Who runs Hollywood? Come on. Joel Stein, a Jewish man, is sitting here telling you, this was in 2008. He says, I've never been so upset by a poll in all my life. Only 22% of Americans now believe the movie and television industry are pretty much run by Jews, down from nearly 50% in 1964. The Anti-Defamation League, which released the poll results last month, sees in these numbers a victory against stereotyping. Actually, it just shows how dumb America has gotten. Jews totally run Hollywood. This is a Jewish man trying to tell you this. But yet you sit there and listen to the media, the same people which we know have been lying about fucking everything. Who do you think owns Pfizer? Why do you think Pfizer was sitting there running on all these fucking commercials over and over and over? In fact, let's go on and read a little bit more. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read a little bit more. It says, how deeply Jewish is Hollywood? The studio chiefs took out a full-page ad in the Los Angeles Times a few weeks ago to demand that the Screen Actors Guild settle its contract. The open letter was signed by News Corp President Peter Chernin, Jewish, Paramount Pictures Chairman Brad Gray, Jewish, Walt Disney Co-Chief Executive Robert Iger, Jewish, Sony Pictures Chairman Michael L. Linton, surprise Dutch Jew, Warner Brothers Chairman Barry Meyer, Jewish, CBS Corp Chief Executive Leslie Moonves, he says, this is his words, so Jewish, his great uncle was the first prime minister of Israel. MGM, Chairman Harry Sloan, Jewish, and NBC Universal Chief Executive Jeff Zucker, as he says, mega Jewish. If either of the Weinstein brothers, which Weinstein brothers, that's Miramax, had signed this group, would not have only had the power to shut down all film production, but to form a Mayan with enough Fiji water to fill a mikvah, whatever that means. But what he's telling you is, right here, this was all Jewish control in this one letter. You can't keep fucking lying about this shit. And this is what they're talking about, the ADL. This is a victory for them. They're trying to hide the fact of what the fuck is really going on, and many people are out there falling for this bullshit. And then let's go on a little bit more. Let me drop this down. And let me open up something else. Because Charlemagne, one of the very same people who was running around there going after Kanye, let's hear his words. Let's hear what he had to say a couple of years ago.
Jewish CEOs. They run these labels. They're the bosses. That's why I'm uncomfortable.
What did Kanye say? He said, "Happy Kwanzaa to all the artists and
Happy Hanukkah to all the label execs." It's the truth. They run the business, period, from Hollywood to the music industry, everything. And I mean, it's a very powerful mafia, as they should be. See, the problem with black people, we don't have no power. No matter what we do, we can all click up. We don't have no organization that holds any weight. NAACP don't hold no weight. We don't have no organization that holds no weight. You can't speak bad about a Jewish person because they have organizations and they're a close-knit group of people in power who will bring you down. Same thing with gays. You can't say nothing bad about gays because they move as a unit. Black people don't have that.
I mean, if you do a racist comment.
Now, he goes into, oh, yeah, this person that he's trying to bring up like little individual examples. But right there, Kanye, fucking Charlemagne. Charlemagne sits up there and tries to say, oh, look at Kanye being so anti-Semitic, when he said the same shit before. They all know it. It's just a matter if they're going to have enough courage to say it and hold to their guns. If they didn't have that power, how in the hell would they have dropped this man's network so fast? And I guarantee you, if they didn't want it to look as coordinated, they would have staggered it out more than what they already did. Because I guarantee you, they wanted to all do it at the same time. But they staggered the shit out so it wasn't as noticeable. But it's still screaming out the level of power that you can have over somebody saying a couple of words, that you can drop billions from them. Do you really think that would happen if Elon Musk said some of the shit the wrong way? I got one more. Actually, before I share the next one, sorry. I got because this shit has been pissing me off lately. It's been really pissing me off that everybody's focused it on the DEFCON 3, and a lot of black people out there, you simple ass black people who are getting all caught up in the George Floyd part. He did not say the cop didn't kill George Floyd. He just thinks that it happened through fentanyl, which I disagree with, but he's not saying that the cop didn't get killed. And y'all are taking it that because he says it was with fentanyl, that it erases that he was killed. Still was killed. Sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
No, my only issue is with that is, you getting that from Candace Owens and Jack Posobiec and all them people over there. And they're disingenuous as fuck, too. Mm-hmm. They ain't never seen a cop kill a nigga who they didn't find a reason to defend a police officer. You know what I mean? So even to the extent that, let's just say George Floyd was high on fentanyl, still what you did was not right. So end of story. So it doesn't matter. If he was going to die from his overdose, you should have let him pass from his overdose. All that extra shit you was doing, that's why your ass in jail. And that's why the rest of them are jammed up now and facing charges, etc. So they fucked up. So him saying that was really stupid, and it just goes to show that maybe he's looking at this politically, because you mirror that with what he said about white folks and being the most I don't know. He said something like the white man can't say anything. He's the most like vilified person. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Honestly, I think he he says that shit so that for white men who start feeling funny about the way he's saying stuff, that he can give them a pass. He trying to, yeah.
The only thing to this is when they say Kanye opened the door to the truth. Now people are talking. Actually, it's their response. They went too hard.
Way too hard. They showed their hand.
But again, it's like I said I said it the other day. They're not limiting this to just him. They're going after every black man. Well, it's mainly black men they want to go at, but it's primarily black people who they're sending the message to and through.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because either look how we can punish you, or they boost the ones who say, yeah, you shouldn't say these things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I look at it like this. Why come you guys couldn't have recasted Black Panther with another powerful black male and then let the story go its track and then switch it over to his sister like happens in the comic books? Because there's still a whole lot more of his story that was supposed to happen for T'Challa. But you guys, the fact that he made all this damn money and it was a positive story for black men, can't have that. You can prop up the black women, which we have no problem. Have no problem with embracing and black women being prompted up. But the black man cannot be exalted at all.
Mm-mm.
At all. And one thing pisses me off sometimes with these feminists is because there's been a white male patriarchy, the black man gets dragged down with it. And it's like, yo, we've been at the fucking bottom. What are you talking about? Why are you guys are acting like we've benefited from this shit? We ain't benefited from nothing.
I ignore a lot of them. When they start with that I'm a feminist bullshit, I ignore 90% of what they have to say. Often. I mean that's ignorant of me too, but at least I'm calling it out. But I honestly can't listen to them.
Yeah, when it's talking about DEFCON, he was saying DEFCON, which is Defense Command. That's what DEFCON means. Did he let autocorrect? He probably did type of shit in autocorrect. But the fact of this dude has tried. What it is they don't want just an apology for people he might have offended. They want him to retract the statement that Jewish people have a lot of power and control.
No, not just that. They want him to not ever say that black people are Jew too.
That pissed them off because now
it's like the Holy Trinity for them.
Yep. Those couple of things black people cannot ever say. And what's interesting about that, which I want to get onto that point too. I definitely want to get onto that point, but I'm gonna share one more thing. Let me pull it up. I gotta share this because the old saying about, and with our people normally, they need to hear it from a white person saying it. Once they hear it from a white person, well, maybe I can listen to him then. But for some reason, you can't listen to a black man saying it. And that shows the racism that we have in this very system here. I sit up there plenty of times and bring out information, and I'm way ahead of a lot of these fucking people. But you know what? Everything I say needs to be scrutinized. I need to show the receipts. I need to double check it. I need to do that. But you guys will listen to a fucking Cal Kalinske. Guys will listen to all these other jackasses out there say whatever the fuck they want to, and I'm saying the same fucking shit. Or saying the shit before them, but if a white person says it, it's taken at face value, and then maybe they might double check it later on. When a black person says it, it's always scrutinized and has to be quadruple checked. And this is what is proven with the whole Kanye thing. Nobody dare look into what he's saying. Everybody just keeps screaming anti-Semitic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but is it true? Prove out. Start showing all the non-Jewish people who are in power. and I don't mean in power in general, I'm talking about in the record industry, in Hollywood, who are over these companies, who are over these basketball teams and football teams and soccer teams. And out of the NBA, there's been 5 commissioners. 3 out of 5 have been Jewish. When you go into the treasury secretaries, you know how many treasury secretaries are Ashkenazi Jewish throughout history? Damn near every single one of them. That doesn't add up. Statistically, that doesn't even make sense. So you cannot sit there and say that there's not a concerted effort going on here. Yes, Baba says that Black people knew their history, the mindset would be totally switched up, and they don't ever want that. Look at the Moors, that's white from history. Why do you think that they don't ever talk? They talk about the Dark Ages. That, oh, you can tell me what happened in ancient Samaria, but you can't tell me what happened through 1,000 years in Europe. You have no clue what happened during that time period. You know what the fuck happened. You just don't want to admit it. And that goes into the white supremacy and racism. I would not. You can't go to Kyle for truth at all now anymore. But there was a point when Kyle was on point, when he used to be right about a lot of things years back. But Reverend Wright was 100%. Reverend Wright was trying to say a lot of stuff about the chickens coming home to roost, and they are coming home to roost, and they're gonna come home even more and more and more as true. See, here's the thing about it: you go to Germany. German people don't sit there and hide from the Holocaust. They don't say, oh, no, we didn't do nothing. They own up to what happened, and that's how they were able to move past it. But Jewish people in this country don't want to fess up to certain things, and therefore keeping the wound wide open. I mean, I could go even deeper, and I mean, I got videos on my other channel, which I definitely recommend. Like, I got a video on my Hebrew Apologetics page called Jewish Involvement in the Transatlantic Slave Trade. I definitely recommend you guys check that one out. Because everybody loves to have us point the finger at white man vaguely and then try to pull Jewish out of that. We're not white. We didn't have nothing to do with that. That's those white people over there. No, motherfucker, you too. But let's play.
Visit thebudplug.com.
That sounds like butt plug.
Promote your brand here at Vile Hip Hop News. Email me, Sam Ant at thehiphopnews.com.
I'm starting to get a lot of respect for them lately.
What up, y'all? It's your man, Sam Ant here at Vile Hip Hop News. Go ahead and hit that like button. Smash that notification bell. And if you're not subscribed to Vile Hip Hop News, ladies and gentlemen, what are you waiting for? Subscribe right now to the brand. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. And let's get to work. All right, Kanye has been in the news in ways I have never, ever seen before. We have learned more about Kanye the last week than we have ever knew. Hell, I'm sure Kanye didn't even know half the shit they putting out on him in the media, throughout the media, in hip-hop, in Fox, in CNN, in publications, and blogs, and all kind of other shit. People, USA Today, Rolling fucking Stone, all over the place. We're hearing things about his past. We didn't know that he was he idolized as a child Hitler. That was something new, and all this other extra shit. It's kind of it's very interesting how when somebody says something that is deemed inappropriate, I'll put it that way, how the hammer comes down. And what also is very telling to me is how outspoken people within our culture, when it pertains to mainstream hip hop media, are more outspoken and at the front of these smear campaigns over anybody else. We heard the word Nazi come about. We've seen people in hip hop media celebrate his school closing down. I never thought that we would take so much pride in hating on Kanye for what they say is slavery was a choice, all white, White Lives Matter shirt, and speaking wrongly on George Floyd. When we've had hip hop talking about murdering, selling drugs, disrespecting women, and this is in rotation nonstop throughout the day. But anyway, what I find very interesting is some of the people in hip hop that are very quiet. Some of the people in hip hop that are usually outspoken, they get behind their phones and they'll give us 15-minute fucking lectures on anything and everything. But when it pertains to this situation, they are very quiet. That is also very telling to me. So I was coming across while I was on social media, I seen this post, and shout out to United Black Community, their Instagram, because they had this on their post, and I happened to see it.
Yeah, sometimes they do too much. Just
I'm
get to
not
the video.
so I apologize
Yeah,
if
I
it's
probably
not.
should have skipped
But it's a
ahead.
gentleman speaking on the Kanye West situation, the percentages in the Jewish community when it comes to the wealth gap as opposed to our culture. But he said some very interesting things. And for whatever reason, I don't know what it is about our culture. And I'm not talking about the people who watch this. I'm just talking about in general. When a white person says something that we've been saying, it just hits a little harder. People just look at it a little different. I don't know. The white ice is just a little colder. I don't know what it is. But shout out to this man who was very outspoken in telling his truth and stating some facts and letting it be known what's going on with the powers that be. I'm going to play the clip of the gentleman. Like I said, shout out to, my bad, I don't want to make sure I say it right, United Black Community on Instagram. Go follow them right now. And let's play the clip, man. Let's go.
Hopefully this is my last statement on Kanye and anti-Semitism, but I feel like it won't be. But this is what I wrote. Jews are 2.4% of the population, but 35% of the Forbes 400. African Americans are 13.6% of the population, but only 0.5% of the Forbes 400. Instead of listening to the wealthiest and most outspoken Black man in the media about the issues he has with potentially racist and stultifying Jews in the industry, which is what going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people translates to in Ebonics, he is completely excoriated. 92% of U.S. Jews identify as white. Israel is known to suffer from intense racial discrimination against its Arab, Mizrahi, and Ethiopian communities. To destroy the life of a Black man who says he's going to speak up about the oppression African Americans face from white capitalist owners is insanely racist and problematic. I wish Abraham Joshua Heschel was alive today to deal with this. What I think he would do is meet with Kanye and allow him to air his grievances and acknowledge the problematic power imbalance between Jews and African Americans in media and American society. He would encourage Jews and their allies to take what Kanye says to heart and to see this as a renewed call to anti-racism in all of our society, to support African Americans in their quest to have a seat at the table, and for Jewish people to help African Americans get there. Remember, Jewish Americans have an average net worth of $150,890, and African Americans have an average net worth of $24,000. Beating on Kanye for talking about that only reveals your racism. Have a nice day.
Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what we just heard. If you deem this video worthy enough for your share, I appreciate you sharing it on your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, whatever the case may be. Let's get the message out. Thank you guys so much for your continued support.
Sorry. What the heck? I'm confused. Oh, I'm clicking. I was trying to find something, so I had too much things going on at the same time. Okay, I closed that one.
No, you're good.
All right. What's your thoughts on that, sir?
I mean, I agreed with a lot of it. You know, it wasn't much to disagree with, right?
Yeah, I wonder how many people out there who have all this to say about Kanye. What do they have to say about all the stuff that I presented here tonight? What do they have to say about this Jewish man sitting up here agreeing with what Kanye had to say?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got another one too that I was trying to run through and look for. The street says, time to have an open mind, dude putting his life on the line for who? Not himself. Damn right. And that is correct. Columbus was Sephardic Jewish. Oh, excuse me. I was trying to find this one other thing. I'm trying to find the point which I was looking for. Hold on. Let's see. What is it? About 26 points. This is a high-profile Jewish man right here who is a practicing Jewish man, which I want to bring up what he had to say. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. If you guys aren't really in the faith community, you guys might not know who this guy is. But he's always, a lot of times, going against the Orthodox Jews who say Israel shouldn't be a state and all that. And this is a Zionist, a hardcore Zionist. Well, there's plenty of types of Zionists. But this is a Jewish Zionist who is going into this. Let me put it on the screen. There we go. So got that there. All right. Yeah, this will be the last video I have for everybody, and then we can kind of close it out. I know it's getting late on the other coast over there, but hopefully I got the right timestamp where I'm at. About 26 minutes. Oh yeah, let's play from here. So listen to what he says carefully. Let me make sure. Do I have it on the screen? Okay, yeah, I do have it on the screen. So listen to what his name is. Rudy Rockman. Very large. I think he's about 50, 60,000 profile, and he's very big in the Zionist movement. This video right here has 25,000 views, which it'll probably have more soon. But listen to this part, what he says here.
Of your own people. There's a growing consciousness amongst people of color.
Back it up a little bit.
Jew, why do you hate the extension of your own people? There's a growing consciousness amongst people of color in the Americas.
Back it up a little bit more.
If we knew we were a culture and knew we were a people, the way the Jewish people know, not a race, it's a people.
First of all, we are Semite. We Jew. So I can't be anti-Semite. Say blacks is Jew.
I hate when he says we Jew. We are Jews. Dude, come on. Do you have any proper grammar at all?
Blacks are Jews also. We gotta say we love Jewish people then. We love Jewish people. We got great.
If you are Jew, why do you hate the extension of your own people? There's a growing consciousness amongst people of color in the Americas who likely descend from Israelite origins, brought as slaves from Africa.
Did you guys hear that? Did you guys just hear what he just said? Well, back it up just a little bit. Let him say that one more time. So when everybody's like, well, I don't know what to make of this other stuff he's saying. I mean, you can't sit there and say there are no black Jews when they literally just say, well, we do believe the Falasha Jews are, and there were some Jews in Uganda, and there's some black ones here. In fact, in the Bible, it literally tells you damn near all the wives which they keep talking about are African women. So how can you sit up there and make the claim that black people, that it's just crazy that this black man can think that he could be a Jew? That makes no damn sense at all. But let's play.
Anti-Semite. Say blacks is Jews. Blacks are Jews also. We gotta say we love Jewish people then. We love Jewish people. We got great.
If you are Jew, why do you hate the extension of your own people? There's a growing consciousness.
And notice what he said there. Color. Somebody pointed this out when I saw this the other day. He didn't say, why do you hate your own people? He said the extension of your people. Does that not sound like he's saying that he's an extension that, I don't know, I'll let it play. I'll let y'all decipher what you get from what he just said there. You know, an extension of your people.
In the Americas, who likely descend from Israelite origins, brought as slaves from Africa. Unfortunately, due to generations of trauma, loss of identity, along with the almost total rejection of this conversation amongst mainstream Jewish spaces, many Black Hebrew Israelites get to the wrong conclusions and lash out at the Jewish people. Many people around the world are on a journey to decolonize their identity, but too many are coming from a very colonized Christian framework using.
Now, I'll leave it there because I disagree with a lot he's saying, and I'll start picking apart the rest of this. Because when he starts talking about that they're coming from a Christian, like, dude, shut up. You just shut up. I've read the Jewish Bible. The translations are very much different. You're coming up with an explanation on your own to debunk what's being said. So, yeah, I tell people I didn't come to being a Hebrew Israelite because I just randomly was like, you know what, I hate Jewish people. I didn't come to this realization because I hated anybody, and it wasn't about hating anybody. It's about finding. It really wasn't even about finding anything. I didn't come to this because I was searching for anything in particular. What even led me down the pathway of becoming a Hebrew Israelite in the first place was I was looking at conspiracy theory stuff, and I was looking at elites controlling stuff. And when I start going into what elites believed and all that, it started leading me into different information. And what I realized is these people's agenda is about going against the Bible. So let me try to see if I can figure out and understand the Bible more to understand what these people are pushing against. What are these people trying to do? What are they trying to fulfill? The elites. And it wasn't even because all the elites, which I believe who are running all this stuff, all of them aren't Jewish. But that said, that doesn't mean that the main family that I feel that is running things is not. And that doesn't mean that there's not a level of control within the Jewish community. Not all, but you can't sit there and tell me from what I'm seeing that there's not a level of control on the highest levels of the Jewish community that doesn't influence a lot of things negatively, that push negative stereotypes, negative values onto my community. Can't tell me that because I can see it. I can see how I used to love a lot of conscious rappers, and all of a sudden they can't get contracts. But if you want to talk about WAP, and you want to talk about getting drugged up, and you want to talk about twerking and all the stupidest shit ever, you can make outrageous amounts of money. But you can't, if you want to try to tell people, hey, stop selling drugs. How about you go back to school? How about you try to build up your community? You want to do that, you don't get record deals. And that should tell you something about the thinking of these people and the agenda that they're trying to push. It obviously ain't for the betterment of Black people. But through doing that, I already had a strong foundation in understanding the Bible and ancient history. And once I had a couple of things put together, just a few, wasn't even much, few little things put together, a lot of things, a lot of questions that turned me into an agnostic in the first place. Just believe, well, there's something, I don't know if I can trust this Bible. There's a lot of holes in it. A couple of things here and there, it made a whole lot of stuff make a lot more sense. And so I would say that even if you guys don't agree with any of that stuff, don't completely rule out that some of the stuff that people like a Kanye is saying is completely ridiculous. Don't think that it's coming from some place of just trying to hate some people. It's not what it is. And what I think is that's more indicative of the people who are in these places of power, that if they were saying these types of things about other people, maybe it would be coming from a place of hate for them. That's something that can't be ruled out. So the last thing I want to show you is about the Kyrie Irving thing. This will be quick. It's called, let's see, where's it at? Let's drop from Rudy. And for those who are trying to remember, want to see the whole thing, and you can see it for your whole thing, you can see it for yourself. His name is Rudy Rochman. RUDDYROCHMAN. And or just DM me, and I can go into it and have these conversations with plenty of you one-on-one. I talk about this all the time on the channel, and I feel like part of my whole mission is to try to explain these things to people, because kingdom of heaven is at hand. I know, got a lot of atheists out there, fine, but for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, I can help you. So what was it? I just want to show you what he shared. I'll pull up the trailer to it. Kyrie Irving showed. Oh no, I'm not showing that whole damn thing. Or see if I can just find the page. Yeah, I'm just going to show you it real quick. Share screen. This is what he shared on the channel. It's Hebrew Nation Build. And so, no, this ain't the right one. just go to see if I can just find the channel. There we go. Here it is. Hebrews the Negro TV, aka all he did was tweeted out this movie. And now he's being called an anti-Semite. Just even mentioning. And nobody is saying that these people aren't and we are. He's not even saying that. But I say check it out. Ruby Krill says check out Memory Hole on YouTube. Good stuff. I will definitely do that. Mr. Street says, I don't care who goes to church. You can't tell me that the congregation don't know who the preacher is talking about. Seeking the truth now is your best investment. Exactly. Like Anaviel says, put your money on the best side. That's the best flip for the best price. Actually, it's not Anaviel who says that. It's Roe the chef. But John says people I've met in the churches will believe anything their pastor tells them. They never read the words any more than their priest. This is why 2 Timothy 2:15 says, study to show thyself approved. Study, people. Study. So I'll leave it on that note. Let me double check over to Rockfin, see if we had any comments over there at the end to go into. Jacob was talking about the APAC. That's another perfect example. You're going to tell me that they don't have power and APAC will smack you over the head if you say anything the wrong way? Oh, shit. I remember. I had that one more. Chris, hopefully you could just muscle through just a little bit more. I got one more thing that I've had this for a couple weeks. I hadn't showed it, but it needs to be shown. Absolutely needs to be shown. Where's it at? For those who do not remember this, or if you've never seen this, this is something showing to back it up, damn it.
בלי מסכות. מתחילים עכשיו להבין את פירוש הסיסמה יש לזה כאן. יש לזה כאן, יש לזה כל ההבדל, מה ערפאת רוצה התנחלות אחת גדולה, קוראים לה תל אביב.
כן, זה מה שקראתי שהיא באה מאנגליה אומרת, גם תל אביב היא התנחלות.
מבחינתם,
skip it ahead a little.
מדע,
אבל זה שהם רוצים אותנו בים, כן, אבל בים, האנגלים כרגע מקדימים מלחמת, זה ישבור אותנו.
Actually, this is what I'll do. I will put this out there. I'll just put this in the chat. But check this out and read this. What Netanyahu is saying here is he's talking about how the Israelis can control the Americans. They can push whatever the goals they want. They got power. So letting you know that there is definitely control and power, that it's not just in Hollywood, that at least Netanyahu believes he got the power to control Israel. Control the U.S. and do what he wants with it. Shit, what was it? Man, I'm thinking, everything's coming to me at the last minute. I'm so sorry. Yes, sweetie, hair like wool, exactly. Man, wow. Did you see, Chris, did you see the comment from, what was his name? Damn it, why am I forgetting his name? He was one of the lawyers for O.J. Simpson, and he was involved, one of the lawyers for O.J. Simpson, and he was involved in,
is that Lee something or the other, maybe?
Not Lee. What was his name?
Cochran dead. Shapiro
no,
dead.
I'm talking about Jewish leader. He's still around now. He was tied up in the Epstein stuff also. I can see his face so clearly, but I can't remember his name. Let me just try typing in OJ lawyers and see if I can find it that way. This dude. Because he was tied up between is it Dershowitz?
Alan Dershowitz?
I think that might be him. Let me look him up and see if that's the guy. Okay, I think this is him. Let me try to look up his tweet, which he said a couple years ago. He literally said it's not that long ago. Where is it at? He was basically saying in the fact that oh, found it. Sweet. So let me pop this on the screen real quick for you. This, I just want to double down on when people talk about the not having power stuff. Thank you, Baba got it right. So let me put this on the screen, what he had to say. Unless I swear it'll be the last thing.
We're too strong. We're too rich. We control the media. People say Jews are too powerful. We're too strong. We're too rich. We control the media. We have too much this, we have too much that. And we often apologetically deny our strength and our power. Don't do that. Don't do that. We have earned the right to influence public debate. We have earned the right to be heard. We have contributed disproportionately to the success of this country. Never, ever apologize for using our strength and our influence in the interest of peace. And if you need a biblical source for it, just remember the psalmist who said, Hashem owes li'amo yitain. God will give the Jewish people strength, owes. And then, only then, Hashem yivarech et amo b'shalom. Only then will God give the Jewish people peace. Peace will come for the Jewish people and the Jewish nation only through strength. Never apologize for using your strength for peace. Thank you. I look forward to a couple of questions.
All right. So yeah, that's what I wanted to end with. Had you ever seen that before, Chris?
No, not that one. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Monowise, Rothschilds are Jewish family, and they are, yeah, exactly. And so that's why I just want to dispel all this bullshit about, oh, this is it. No, stop, motherfucker. You know what you're doing. And that's why, what was it, Lex Friedman, when he was on his show, like, you're a fucking liar. And it's the same thing with, what was the goofy ass white dude who always goofy ass Jewish dude who culturally appropriates all the time, black, Michael Rappaport. His fucking corny ass up there lying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done with that shit. So, yeah, that's the show for tonight. Make sure to look out for tomorrow. I do have a video I'm working on that I'm going to upload. I'll be premiering it sometime. I'm not sure what time, but make sure to keep an eye out for it. If you haven't seen the independent media karaoke, please go check it out over on Rockfin. It's definitely kind of funny. At least it's funny to me, and especially if you know all these different personalities, might be funny which songs I chose to put on everybody. But on that note, we're going to leave it there. And oh yeah, if you guys haven't came over to Hebrew Apologetics yet, and you guys want to learn about the Bible, have different questions and stuff, please comment, ask me questions. That's what I'm there for. That said, we're going to close it out. Everybody be safe throughout this weekend. Wish you all nothing but the best. And make sure to be careful. Take care. Well, I'm not going to steal your line. Wait, tell them what it is, Chris. What do you always tell them?
You know, like I always say, take care of you and yours, and don't worry about the rest. You know, be careful out there. Taking your kids out or letting your kids roam the street tonight or tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just keep an eye on them weirdos everywhere.
Yep. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.